scores for Scotland. Romajang stepping away. Stunning work from Bridger. What an individual score this is. Dombrandt is in.
Talent aplenty has graced these great leagues, but now future stars are set to shine. Last season was the most thrilling to date, but now it's time for a new crop of talent to grace the field, and in this league, anything could happen. It's time to take your seat. The best leagues in the land are back.
Byfield with a BUCS Super Rugby try for the ages.
And then was a white line seeking missile.
Drives towards the line. Sensational score from Romajang.
Winding to gear, drive to the line. And Cardiff are streaking across. Welcome back, everybody. BUCS Super Rugby is back underway.
Well, noswaith good evening to you and welcome to a stormy Rugby One Cyncoed Campus. I'm here with Cardiff Met centre Gus Patterson. Gus, looking forward to this one?
Yeah, it's going to be a hell of a game out there. I know the conditions ain't great, but you know, it's third v fourth year. It's going to be a hell of a game.
Well, we'll preview a bit more to this game a bit later. We've got about 15 minutes till kick-off. But first, let's have a look at how the Met got on Saturday against Beather.
5, 4, 3, 2, hold, pressure, hold. Everything accurate now. Yeah. Everything 100%. Lift, throw, pass, everything 100% now. Yeah. We're building for this game now. We've got 20 minutes. Let's go. Yeah. Come on. Yeah. Here we go. We lift it now. Yeah, we lift it now. Come on.
That's not acceptable.
Show, boys.
Well, what a game there at Cyncoed Campus. Obviously, Gus, you were involved on Saturday. How did it feel to get that win?
To win it in that fashion as well was a real good feeling. But you could tell it didn't just mean that to the players as well. It meant to the coaches. You could see Danny going crazy in that. You could see the crowd. It just, yeah, real hard fought win that.
Yeah, I think it was probably one of the great shots of Cardiff Met Rugby there. Danny Milton absolutely going mental at the end. How massive is that win for your season? Because obviously you're second in the league at the moment. How much is that for the Saturday side?
Yeah, well, it keeps giving us momentum because in the league we've got a really good run of form there. And especially to come back from that where we could easily just shut off, just accept the defeat. But to keep this winning streak going and then building into Newbridge now on Friday.
And how much character did the boys have to show there? Obviously you were down to 14 men on your own line at one point, and then to come back from 10 points down as well.
It was massive. And it's so different playing men's rugby on a Saturday. You know, they try to bully us because they think we're typical students. But the way we matched them and then went even above that and went down the other end and scored, it was really good.
And how much, obviously you mentioned there the difference, how much is that difference in physicality between the BUCS and the Saturday stuff?
It's a different type of physicality. Obviously, most of these players on a Wednesday in the gym, they're stronger, they're faster, they're fitter. But when you play against obviously a 30-year-old experienced man, he knows how to hit hard basically.
And is it a matter of being a bit more like streetwise as well?
Yeah.
Is it sort of mastering the dark arts?
Yeah, especially the way they try rattle you. They throw in shots off the ball, but you've got to get on with it really and just try to sort it out on the pitch.
Well, we think about some of the standout performers from Saturday, and obviously the Saturday side and the Wednesday side are quite closely linked. Paul a good one. He was involved on Saturday.
Yeah.
Obviously got the try to set that comeback in motion, and he's starting tonight. So, how much, how good is he, and how much do you think?
He's so dangerous. If he's playing fullback, he's playing the wing. He can even play 10. He'll do everything. He's skillful. He's fast. He's powerful. He's a real dangerous player.
And obviously you train with him and play with him. How difficult is he to defend against?
If you're one-on-one with him, good luck to you. Because you see him when he plays sevens. He's one of the best players sevens. One of the best sevens players here. And if he gets a one-on-one, it normally goes his way.
And one of the other players involved tonight is Evan Sheldon.
Yeah.
I've heard a rumour that he might be the hardest hitter at the club.
I can confirm that. I live with him, and he knows how to hit hard, that boy.
And obviously he's back into the side tonight. How vital might he be?
It's massive, especially the way we're gonna have to win this game. If we match him physically, we can do him here. And he literally epitomises that. He'll hit the hardest, he'll carry the hardest, and he'll just keep going for the whole distance.
Well, this is actually Cardiff Met's varsity clash, the game against Bath. So let's have a look how these sides got on the last time they played.
Inches away, advantage for Cardiff Met as Ted Johnson's called offside. And it's a try for Cardiff Met. Could they be 3 steps away from a try? And it's taken down brilliantly. It feels like all of Bath are in that maul. And they are over for the score. Unfortunately not find much room for the Archers. Berry throws it out wide. Carrington now on the ball with a bit of pace, with a bit of time. Good offload.
It's unorthodox.
This is worked out for Cardiff Met. It's very unorthodox, but Steph Cribb's going to score. I've never wanted to use the phrase more, but that is what you call playing to the whistle and playing with the top 2 inches of your head in rugby, using your brain, knowing the rules, and Cardiff Met come away with a try. And Peeling, searching, scoring! Jack Bennett for the University of Bath.
No, it's Bath, you want something from this?
Well, Ted Johnson's digging and he's running on his own. He's just short of the line, but Bath are over! And that's a loose pass and a secure ball for the University of Bath. Time has expired, the game is theirs! The University of Bath have a BUCS Super Rugby victory!
Well, the conditions that night were more like a slip and slide than a rugby match. Gus, obviously you played there. I think you just mentioned the toughest conditions you've ever played in, wettest conditions.
100%. It's one of the worst conditions I've ever played in. And I'm pretty sure that if it wasn't at the Rec, it definitely wouldn't have been on. But there was no way they were calling that off.
And obviously got slightly rainy conditions again tonight. Do you think that'll affect this game?
Massive. They were, to be fair to them, they were real physical last time, and that got them over the edge against us. But I think if the boys match them physicality today, we'll win this.
So do you think this will be a sort of forwards game then, rather than a running backs game? Possibly?
I think to set it up, they're going to have to make the platform. Both teams are going to try and make a platform. And especially with this wind going that way, it's going to be all about that kicking game and playing in the right areas of the pitch, really.
Well, we just watched a bit of the warm-up, didn't we? And I think Rory Morgan put a kick up that went about 10 metres, probably further than it's supposed to be. So how important do you think it is that Cardiff Met perhaps play into the wind in the second half and not the first half?
With Rory at 9, he knows how to control a game with or without the wind. So Cardiff Met will be a fan of that front, but it's just mainly how they use it for the whole game, not just one half now. And
obviously you mentioned Rory there. You train with him every day. Just how impressive is he? And
it's ridiculous. The amount of kick assists he's had this season, he creates something out of nothing, really. And he's a real difference maker.
And he's got quite a good relationship, I think, with Steph Davis as well. They seem to have a bit of an understanding. put a few kicks in for a tries for him as well.
Only kicks to him by the looks of it. Gives him all his tries, just kicking it to him.
Well, Rory, if you're watching later, let Gus know that he wants one of your kicks at some point. No, it's obviously rainy conditions, so definitely going to affect the game tonight. Another player, perhaps in form, Joe Cowell, definitely in form before Christmas. How impressive is he, and how much of a leader is he in this side?
If he's captain, if he's not captain, he's leading. He is one of the main leaders there. The way he keeps going, for a prop, he's playing 70, 75 minutes is ridiculous. The amount of work he gets through. Fair play to him. And
you've been great tonight, Gus. Thank you very much for coming up in this weather. Before we let you go, I want 2 predictions from you. I want a Six Nations prediction, and I want a prediction for the game tonight. So who's going to win the Six Nations?
I think Ireland will win it.
Ireland will win it.
And I think Cardiff Met will win this tonight.
And can I push you for a score prediction?
24-12.
24-12 Cardiff Met. Right, so that's been us on the preview. The next voices you'll be hearing are the voices of Stephen Leonard and Spence O'Connell.
Thank you, Reese. Well, we are back after the long Christmas break. Rugby One is back in full force. Last time out, it was Bath who took the glory in a thriller of a game at the Rec, where they edged a win with a 5-point victory in treacherous conditions against the Archers. 25-20 was the score last time out. Tonight, though, Met are looking to continue winning ways and get revenge on their rivals from the other side of the bridge. It's 4th versus 5th. It's Bath versus Cardiff Met. The cameras are on. The lights are shining, the scene is set. What an epic fixture we have on our hands. And joining me is Steph Leonard. Steph, are we in for a glorious night of rugby?
Yeah, Spence, what an occasion. It's similar to the varsity, it's got the same feel of it. It's quite boisterous out there, not a lot of Bath fans, but a hell of a lot of Cardiff Met fans. And I'm fully expecting a thriller on the pitch, even though the conditions are bad. They're not as bad as last time. And I'm hoping for a free-flowing game nonetheless.
Well, I can assure you, Steph, that we are in for a great spectacle tonight. So let's take a look at the lineups for tonight then. Cardiff Met have plenty of competition in the squad. However, Jordan Morris starting for Wales 20s on the weekend. It's another start for Ben Murphy at loosehead. Hooker George Merritt and Joe Cowell round out the front row. American powerhouse Brandon Harvey keeps his dominant relationship with Liam Antrobus in the second row. Evan Sheldon comes in for a start after Ardal Yallop's absence, with captain Ewan Guy and Benji Williams making up the pack. Well, with Vickers Meyer on international duty with the Netherlands, it's a half-back pairing of Rory Morgan and Ross McKay. The big talking point though, Archers without Roma Zeng. However, Porter Goodrum, the workhorse, comes in on the left wing. Impressive Chris Johnson comes in at 12, with Elijah Evans back from injury stepping in at 13. Joshua Carrington with his first start in BUCS since his injury. And the dominant Steph Davis remaining at fullback. On to the bench, and Connor Chapman keeps his spot in the 23, with Evan Wood away with Wales 20s. Max Saray and Connell Couch await to come on and disrupt the opposition's scrum. Barnaby Waddle and third-year Bertie Taylor round out the replacement forwards, with Zach Roberts, Sam Berry and try-winning hero on Saturday, Toby Baldwin, making up the replacement backs. We now take a look at Bath's squad, and Bath always bring a strong squad, and this week is no different. Archie Stanley, Jasper Spandler and Alfie Griffin make up the front row. Josh Dingley and Will James keep their partnership at second row. Mackenzie Graham, captain and hard hitter Tom Cohen and carrying machine Ted Johnson fill out the pack. Last week's player of the match against Leeds Beckett, Johan Lewis, keeps his spot at 9 with his half-back partner Raf Weston. Then pairing on the wings is Sam Mercer. Alongside him on the other wing is Rory Crum. And then inside them, Will Rowe and dynamic 13, James Short. Ewan Price-Thomas keeps everything intact at fullback. Pierce, Wheeler and Yates round out front row replacements. Major, Coyle, Morgan, Lloyd, Gilmore and Austin Eamon make up the matchday 23. So, Steph, after looking at the lineups there, what are your thoughts on tonight's game and what do we have on our hands here at Cyncoed?
Yeah, I think it's going to be an exciting game, whatever happens. And I think, you know, you look at that Cardiff Met team, it's certainly a strong team, as we've come to expect from Cardiff Met. A couple of changes, you know, you see that often with Cardiff Met throughout the season, but consistency has been quite good when those players have come back in. You know, you look at someone like Josh Carrington coming back into the wing. It's always great to have someone who can score tries for you come back into the fold. And they've also got some big boys as well, and under the lights here, and even though the conditions look a little bit windy, a little bit stormy and rainy, hopefully those Archers Ultras opposite us will be able to push them over the line in the end.
And you've just mentioned the conditions there as we see Bath running out. Steph, how important is it going to be to play in the right areas tonight?
Yes, massively important. And, you know, you talk about the kicking game in the professional game. It is something that's really important, but it's also important to kick in the right places, and that's going to be key today. If your 10 can control the game, then you're in with a good shout to winning the game at the end of the 80 minutes. And I think that would be key, especially in weather like this. But it's not always as easy as it looks, especially with, you can see the wind swirling around us as Bath come out onto the pitch. But yeah, I think it's still going to be a relatively free-flowing game with both teams looking to run the ball, because I think that's what both of them do.
And just before we done that match preview, I did notice that we've seen the captains doing the toss, and it looks like Bath have opted to play into the wind in the first half. What do you think to that one?
Yeah, it's interesting. I think I would have rather to play with the wind in the first half, as Cardiff Met would be, and as Cardiff Met come out now with that wind behind them. Of course, if the wind stays the same, with tiredness coming into play in the second half, they might be beneficial for them. But if Cardiff Met can have a fast start and use that wind to their advantage, then so be it, and they won't mind. They'd rather play with the wind. But in the end of the day, it's just a normal game of rugby, and you've got to play to your set plays that you would play in any conditions.
Yeah, well, Cardiff Met out onto the pitch with the reception that they always get down here at Cyncoed. Ross McKay will get us underway under the lights tonight. Cardiff Met want revenge, Bath want fourth spot. It's all to play for. It's Stanley. Lewis with a clever box kick, just testing out that wind early on. Ewan Guy recovers well though. Cowell with his first carry of the game. How important will a player like Joe Cowell be tonight?
Yes, massive. You know, I said that I think both teams will still want to play with the ball, and you can only do that if your forwards do the dirty work, and people like Cowell are the ones that gain those extra yards so that your backs can look a little bit nicer.
And we see straight away pressure from the Bath's defence. We know they're physical up front, and already we're seeing that. Cardiff Met looking to exit here. Well, Patterson was saying about Rory Morgan's kicking, his first test of the night. It's a nice one, but it's fell into the hands of Mercer, but it's taken back, and Cardiff Met have the penalty advantage.
Yeah, it's great. You know, as I said, it's about kicking in the right manner, and I think that is definitely the right manner. Turn the defence, make them make a decision. We saw in the end a little bit of luck with the bounce, but Cardiff Met won't mind, and now they find themselves within the Bath 22 with only less than 2 minutes played.
Yeah, and you know, this is a vital position for Met to be in the early stages of this game. If you're George Merritt here, what sort of pressure is he going to have, and how important is this line out?
Yeah, it's really important. You know, you always want to get your set piece right, and you know, we spoke about how important the forwards would be in terms of gaining yards. Well, a set piece is something that gives you that structure for the game, and you know, it's a good first set piece for them, and now they can try and run hard.
Yeah, and Sheldon with a strong carry coming back into the squad. It looks like it may be a turnover for Bath. Yeah, unfortunately for the Archers, they have missed opportunity. And again, a big test year for Player of the Week. Last week, Ioan Lewis. And it's a dodgy bounce. And Captain Cohen is on it. And it's on out wide for Bath, is it? They look to go wide. Oof, that's a massive hit there.
That's a momentum gainer for Cardiff Met, and then it forces a mistake.
Yeah, knocked on there by number 8 Ted Johnson, wanting to be taken quick by the numberless Elijah Evans tonight.
Yeah,
well, it's all going on already.
It is, and you can see the intensity for both teams. I think at the moment Bath are trying to play rugby, but their structure's not quite there. They were running a lot there with just individuals instead of running with their pod. Cardiff Met looking to capitalise, they couldn't, but in the end they can force a mistake with a crunching old tackle in midfield.
Big test here, big scrum, two very good front rows up against one another here. Stanley against Cowell, what are we saying?
Well, seeing as the Archers faithful are in full voice, I'm going to have to say Joe Cowell because I don't want to get on their bad side. No, but I think, yeah, we've spoken already about how important the set piece is, and we've spoken about it when we've done games previously, Spence, and I think especially in conditions like this, I know we keep mentioning the weather, but your set piece is going to be so important, because that, if you go in a penalty here now, you find yourself in the opposition 22 again.
Yeah, and we just take a look at this replay here, which was a very good carry by Raf Weston, but unfortunately Ted Johnson just knocks the ball on, which leads to the scrum.
There's Ben Murphy there with a massive tackle, and
it looks like a strong scrum from both sides, and Morgan with ball in hand now. Oh, and it's intercepted. Bath on the run. Will Rue in the corner, and he's in. An unfortunate mishap there from Cardiff Met, and unfortunately for Cardiff Met, Will Rue does not take no prisoners. Steph, not what Cardiff Met wanted early on in this game.
Yeah, no, and it's been relatively in the balance at the moment, and just a mistake in the midfield, not looking after the ball enough. We said it's going to be a free-flowing game, but you've got to look after that ball, and I think Met just tried to be a little bit too clever in midfield then. To give the ball away like that it's going to be frustrating for them, but at least, they know the Bath haven't gone through them yet, so they just need to regroup. It's only 5 minutes gone, and play in the right positions now. That's what they need to do.
Potentially the win there, just taking the ball out of Rory Morgan's hands and literally just pushing it forward.
Yeah, well, from a Bath perspective, that was a great tackle in midfield, but you've got to look after the ball better. You've got to. If you want to have territory in weather like this, you've just got to.
Yeah, and here's a replay of that. Rory Morgan with the right idea, probably just the wrong conditions to play rugby like that tonight, and unfortunately he's been found out early on.
Yeah, and he was looking for Steph Davis, and we've seen Steph Davis find gaps in those sort of positions so much this year, but you've got to do it at the right time.
Yeah. And that's a great kick there from Raf Weston as well, right in the corner. So it shows that even though it is windy, Weston has found his laces early on. And we get restarted. Met now will try to get back into the opposition 22, but a strong carry from Mackenzie Graham gives them a good exit platform here. Lewis with the kick. And we're seeing that bounce repeatedly tonight because of the wind and the conditions of the pitch. It is going to be tricky. Sheldon. Merritt with the carry. Morgan with a cheeky chip over the top, looking for Steph Davis. And it's gone out.
Yeah, you don't mind that. Even though they haven't quite been able to retain the ball, it's, turning the opposition round again, making them make decisions. You don't mind seeing that, especially with the conditions as it is.
Yeah, it's better try stuff at all times in BUCS Super Rugby, right?
No, it is definitely, and you know these players will know how to play in conditions like this. You know, they played. We've spoken about the first game they played against Bath this year. The conditions were much worse, and it was still a great game of rugby. It's all about just settling down and making your way into the game slowly.
Yeah, and it looks like it's been knocked on, so it is a scrum with Bath's put in just off Steph Davis's hand there as he went to retrieve the ball. Massive scrum for Bath in their own 22.
Yeah, there's definitely going to be pressure on you, and there's going to be a big old Cardiff Met shove you'd expect.
It looks like they've retrieved the ball. Oh! Unfortunately, there Morgan went for the interception. Very similar to what happened to them, but it is just disrupted. Bath look to play their way out now, and they're back for the knock-on. Right thinking by Rory Morgan, trying to make up for a mistake, perhaps?
Yeah, I've loved watching Rory Morgan all season. He's one of those nines that you just love to have in your team. He's quick thinking, he's always trying to make something, create something for himself. How many times have we seen him tap and go this season and score? And again, you know, he's trying something different there, looking for the interception. He had every right to go for it. And that's what you want from your nine. You want someone who's really annoying, so a nine you don't want to play against. I was an annoying nine, but probably not someone you wouldn't want to play against. Probably love playing against me.
Well, Rory Morgan is gracious to watch. Not too sure about yourself, Steph. But we're back for the scrum now. In conditions like tonight, there's going to be a lot of stopping and starting, you know, as we're seeing here. How important is it that the boys keep themselves warm, keep their mindset in the game?
Yeah, that's more than it. I think they'll be all right keeping warm because they will have done plenty of running, but no, keeping switched on mentally. You know, we saw there with the Bath try how quickly things can just change. So keeping your head in the game more than anything is the key thing, and keep playing your rugby in the opposition's half, because that's when mistakes can happen, and mistakes will happen in this sort of weather.
Yeah, so we're back now for this scrum. Massive scrum here for Cardiff Met, just to try and apply some pressure. But again, it is Ted Johnson who picks up from the back of the scrum to try and set that platform. But they continue to carry through Alfie Griffin. Bath obviously trusting their forwards here to set up a really nice platform for Johan Lewis to exit with. And it looks like it's gone out there, but a nice exit there from Lewis, would you say?
Yeah, you don't mind that. I'm not sure that's what he was trying to do, but he's happy with that. They're obviously looking to, when they're in their own 22, trying to put pressure on the Cardiff Met wingers. We know that the wind is swirling you can see it on the camera. But no, putting people under pressure, that's what it's all about in this game.
Yeah, great line out there, just securing the ball. It's so important in nights like tonight that they look after that ball. Merritt trying to drive it on from the back here. Maybe someone could come blind. Instead he goes on his own. Benji Williams with the carry, back into the squad this week after taking a little injury. Another interception here for Bath with Ted Johnson. Just scrappy play.
Yeah, again, as the referee stops it, just again making the right decisions. You've got to make sure first and foremost you keep that ball in hand tonight, because you need to make most of every possession and keep ticking the clock down and putting yourself in the opposition's 22. But no, it's still in the balance. Neither team have dominated massively, and I think because of situations like this, it's so stop and start. So you've got to make sure that when you have that ball, you look after it.
Well, we knew that Tom Cohen, captain, had it there, but the back row all together, Mackenzie Graham, Cohen, and of course Ted Johnson, really seem to be gelling tonight and applying pressure massively on the Cardiff Met pack.
No, they do, and you know you can see it from the scrums. They're using Ted Johnson as their sort of weapon to make those yards and to be able to reuse the ball then for the backs, and that's what you've got to do. Rugby is a simple game. You know, you've got to keep hold of that possession, and then you can be fancy and do stuff with it. But first and foremost, you've got to look after that ball.
Yeah, it's a simple game, but a lot of teams try to make it look simple, but yeah, it looks quite hard, doesn't it? But we are back underway here. Bath again in their own half. So Cardiff Met playing into the right areas and putting pressure on Bath. Just at the minute can't unfortunately keep hold of the ball. But Lewis again looking for the box kick. And it's charged down. Antrobus with the retrieval of the ball there. Rory Morgan now maybe looking for something. Great carry by Sheldon. How important is it to have him back in the squad as he gets a penalty there for his side?
Well, there's your answer for you. He's a great runner with the ball, and he's one of those key players that will make sure that you can retain that ball. Again, Benji Williams did very well there to keep possession when that ball went a bit astray in the air. But no, Cardiff Met now with an opportunity to claw some points back in this game now.
Yeah, and I think a clever choice here to go for the points, especially with that wind as strong as it is. Yeah,
it'd be interesting to see this kick. What happens with the kick with this wind, because they're definitely not easy conditions to kick in. But no, Cardiff Met will be happy there winning, and I think that's what's important for them now, is having that time in a game where they have the ball for a long period of time and kind of grow into the game with a bit more confidence. And if they can convert this now, I think that that confidence will slowly start to creep in.
McKay then trying to get his side back in this game. Can he make the 3 points? And it looks like he has. A great effort there from Ross McKay back into the squad for international duty Vickers Mayer, but McKay proving that he deserves to be in this squad with probably a really important kick.
Yeah, Cardiff Met will be happy that they've responded relatively quickly.
And here is the replay of that carry from Sheldon. Dominant, really strong, good leg drive. And just off the feet there from Ted Johnson.
Yeah, and great work from the packer as well. They were hunting as a unit, as a pack, and that's what you want in conditions like this. Make sure, I know I've said it a lot, you've got to make sure you keep that ball.
No, of course, you can say as much as you want.
Thanks, Mads.
Morgan then looking for the chip over again. That's a clever kick. That's a lovely kick. And it's gone out. That is a great kick there from Rory Morgan. Gus Patterson saying about how important and significant Rory Morgan is to this team. Showing it again there.
Yeah, he's massive. He seems to make the right decisions at the right time. Perhaps not with that interception that was just now, but 9 times out of 10 he creates something for you, and he's that little bit special. He's that something that will create something for you.
And it's a line out that has gone Met's way. Front jumping up, and they have received the ball. Unfortunately, Met retrieve it back. So again, it's just holding on to possession when they need to. But good pressure applied there up front. And we are definitely seeing a physical battle out here tonight.
Yeah, and you've got to front up in situations like this. We spoke to some people from Bath earlier, and they were saying that it's always a physical battle, and they know that both teams can play rugby, but you've got to front up first and foremost. And you've got to live up to the occasion, because Bath against Cardiff Met is always a big occasion.
Yeah, Aaron James, when we were speaking to him earlier, the director of rugby, he was mentioning how he loves coming to Cyncoed because it's different to a lot of places, and the physical rugby that they get to play against another physical side, he said that's what university rugby is all about.
Yeah, definitely. And he was mentioning as well that his mother from New Zealand, Ag James, is watching, so we said we'd give her a little shout out. So hello from New Zealand. I can't believe there's someone from New Zealand. Do you think they can understand me with this thick Welsh accent?
Well, I hope so, because there's 2 of us. So yeah, it is mad that we are Cardiff Met Sport TV reaching these places, but of course it's a pleasure, because this rugby does not want to be missed by anyone. Never mind Aaron James's mother in New Zealand. But we're back. Johan Lewis with the kick after the scrum. It lands hopefully in Steph Davis's hands, and it does. He's so strong at 15.
Yeah, another one who always seems to make the right decisions in terms of where he wants to run, when he wants to just make sure he secures that ball, and he plays with his head up, which is something you want from a fullback.
Rory Morgan again with the box kick. That's a tricky one to see with the rain, but it is collected by the winger Rory Crum. And unfortunately the penalty goes the way of Bath.
Yeah, Crum did well there just to put Met off from retaining that ball, and yet another scrum in the centre of midfield.
Yeah, and we can see tonight, obviously, these conditions are terrible, but nothing stops those archers, does it?
No, and I can see there one of them's, I think, got their top off, which I can't quite believe in the middle of January, or the end of January now. But no, they're here week in, week out, and they always make such a difference. I know, just when the going gets tough, they can kind of push Cardiff Met over the line, and we've seen it already this season as well. And especially in a game like this, in weather like this, they'll need all the support they can get.
Yeah, there's some mad outfits going on over there tonight. I can see flares, I can see cowboy hats. There's all going on. That's what Cyncoed is all about. You know, no one minds getting stuck in, not only the players but also the fans. Here it goes on a big hit there, massive hit from, I think it was Ross McKay. No, it was Chris Johnson, I'll be corrected. And he's only come into the squad of late, Steph. Been impressed by him tonight so far?
Yeah, I have. He's a big boy, and I think that he's someone that Bath kind of make their structure around. You know, he's the one that gains those extra little yards, those important hard yards, and then Bath can play off the back of him. You know, and again, in a game like this, he's going to be really, really important to secure that ball for them.
Yeah, and we see now another scrum, and that may be the tale of tonight's game. You know, who can be more dominant in that scrum? But that's what rugby's all about. And Benji Williams picks up from the back here with another massive carry. We all know that Benji brings that to the table. Sheldon with a carry. And again, Williams getting past the gain line. Rory Morgan looks for the one over the top. Looking for the corner maybe. And he gets it.
Again, that's a brilliant kick. And did it come off Bath? Yes, it did. Yet again, Rory Morgan just put in the ball, making the right decisions in the right part of the pitch. And now Cardiff Met find themselves just outside the 5 metre line.
Yeah, and that's the experience that we're talking about with this Cardiff Met side. Massive, massive moment here for Cardiff Met. How crucial is it that they capitalise on this?
Yes, massive. Whenever you're in that red zone, you want to come away with some sort of points, whether that be 3 points or 5. But with the momentum behind them now, they'll be looking for a big old drive, I'd say.
Yeah, and they have succeeded with the line out. And a big drive looks like in the corner. And it's in! It's a try for Cardiff Met. We're just trying to see who comes up first here. And it looks like it is Evan Sheldon, the man who comes back into the squad, has got the first try of the night for Cardiff Met. Great work there from the pack. As you say, hunting like lions.
No, it is 100%. And you know, we said earlier that we spoke to Aaron James, and he said that one of the things that you've got to watch out when you play Cardiff Met, those little intricate bits of play they do off the set piece. And we saw them there using the blind side. As we take another look at it here, Met, a simple ball to the front, using the blind side, and then in the corner as easy as you like.
Yeah, a lovely peel off there from Evan Sheldon. And you bang on, Steph, that's what he was saying earlier, Aaron James, that Cardiff Met had this ability to do little tricks, but he was quite confident in his defence that they trained for this. Maybe he wasn't expecting this quality here tonight.
No, it's easier said than done. You know, you can know coming into a game against a team that they're going to try these intricate little bits of play, but stopping it is something different. Otherwise, they wouldn't do it in the first place. Cardiff Met have used that a lot this season, whether that be off the set piece or even Rory Morgan going quickly. Just something really important to change up your game.
Yeah, massive kick here, and I'm just noticing that the ball is coming off the tee. So, as I can see, Captain Ewan Guy running over to maybe just put his hand on the ball. But McKay takes it anyway, and it is just narrowly missed, unfortunately. But it is 8-5 to Cardiff Met. Sorry, 8-7 the scoreline. It is, for some reason, not correct here.
Yeah, it is 8-5. It's alright though. You know, the wind is swirling.
That's the problem when you've got two things going on at once, see, Steph? It says 8-5 over there, 8-7 over there. Anyway, we're back underway. Rory Morgan with the kick again. Oh, that's a lovely kick, is it? Good hands there, though, from Ewan Price-Thomas. Thomas with the kick over the top. Again, Rory Morgan trying to control the play from the back with a lovely, lovely kick through there. Hopefully it just stops, and it does. And now Will Rue trying to create something new.
Yeah, Cardiff Met winning that kicking battle, and it's all about how important that first chase was from Cardiff Met. It was good. We had 2 on this near side here, Carrington one of them, closing them down, making them kick back, and then Rory Morgan again, just doing the right things in the right place.
Yeah, and speaking to Danny Milton earlier, he was saying about how important, the kicking game is, and how Cardiff Met have really tried to bring that into their system as of late. And there we can see, they win the kicking battle, Merritt with a very good line out, and Sheldon looking for the ball once more. And out it goes again to Benji Williams with a strong tackle there from Bath. Johnson up the middle, doing what every good 12 does, carrying hard. That's a strong hit there in the midfield. Sheldon again with the ball in hand. Benji Williams. Morgan again looking for the chip over the top to the powerhouse Brandon Harvey, but it's Ewan Price-Thomas who is strong at the back, but it looked like a turnover for a second there for Cardiff Met, but it is Bath's penalty.
Yeah, it was a good chase there from Cardiff Met, really putting Bath under pressure. Unlucky with the turnover. Now sometimes it happens, didn't quite get it right, but no, a relatively good chase, putting them under pressure again, and we're seeing Cardiff Met using that kicking game effectively.
Yeah, and unfortunately a poor kick there from Bath means that Cardiff Met get the ball back in hand. Rory Morgan trying something very similar, but it is out on the full. So we go back for the line now, just outside Bath's 22. How important is it that Bath retrieve the ball here and get a strong exit?
Yeah, I think Bath need to do what Cardiff Met needed to do after about 5 minutes, just settle down and put themselves back in the game. I think one thing that's really interesting is there's a little stoppage in play here. We've seen a lot this season, Cardiff Met, receiving the ball on the kick and then choosing to run the ball back. We're seeing today they're choosing to kick, and that's something they've done the last couple of weeks we've seen them play. But it's interesting, and it shows how much they can do both things. They can run if they want, because their back three are probably one of the most dangerous in the league. There's no doubt about it, and that's not a Cardiff Met bias whatsoever. But today we're seeing them making the right decisions on when to kick as well. Perhaps not the last one from Rory Morgan, but no, it's been relatively good, and I think it'd be positive from Cardiff Met so far.
Yeah, and I think as well, as Bath retrieved that line out there, I think if we had, data analysis up here, we'd probably be saying possession has been 70-30 to Cardiff Met, playing all the play down in Bath's half. So, as we see here, a massive turnover there from Cardiff Met. So they're doing all the right things in all the right areas.
Yeah, they need to capitalise on this again now, and a good shove off the scrum, and then hopefully put themselves again within the Bath 22.
Yeah, and I think as well, you're mentioning bringing that kicking game in. Is that something that can take a while for a team to grasp, all singing off the same hymn sheet and chasing as one?
Yeah, I think so, but it also comes under the same bracket. We've seen Steph Davis, when he chooses to run, he chooses the right angle, he knows where he wants to run, and he attacks the space. It's exactly the same when you kick, but just you're going deeper and you're kicking long, you're finding that space, you're trying to turn the opposition. So yes, it's a little bit different, but it's also the kind of same mindset. I want to do the right thing and make the right decision.
Yeah, and I think, with Cardiff Met as well, everyone knows that they're a physical side, but everyone knows that they're also a dangerous side with the backs that they've got. But if they can finesse, the kicking game, which obviously Danny Milton said they're trying to do, it'll be interesting to then see where they can go. And obviously they're getting themselves in positions like this tonight. Unfortunately, they tried it again, but it didn't come off. But Bath, again, under pressure here in their own 22. Lewis having a really tough time tonight so far at the back of the ruck, as he is trying to exit so much. But that looks like it's a better one from Lewis. Steph Davis with some lovely footwork. And some more lovely footwork as he keeps going. But it's a great tackle there from Captain Cohen to stop him in his tracks. Sheldon now with a carry. Momentum really on Cardiff Met's side. And again, Morgan looks for that cheeky over the top, but the mark is called by James Short. Great stuff.
Yeah, Bath looking to exit there, but it's not necessarily the man you want to be finding off the high ball. Steph Davis, we've spoken about him so much in this game and all throughout the season as well. He knows how to attack that ball on the counter attack, and he almost found himself all the way through there.
Yeah, and that in all fairness is a great kick there to get Bath out of danger. You know, maybe just put some pressure now on Cardiff Met, because there is only around 13 minutes left on the clock here. So how important are these next 10-15 minutes left of this first half?
Yeah, Bath will just be encouraged that they're out of their half for the first time in a while, and they want to stay there as well. So a big defensive display here for this when they win the line.
Yeah, unfortunately there for Met, they can't retrieve the ball, but a massive tackle there from Joe Cowell in the midfield. Doing what experienced players do, ex-captain, and turning up when called upon. That's a great pass out wide. Sheldon again with the carry. He's so strong in both attack and defence.
Morgan again, there's so much space behind the Bath.
Yeah, and we see it here with the crossfield for Steph Davis. And the ball's fallen here. And Carrington chasing after it. But it has gone out off a Bath leg, I think. Great awareness there from the back line, Steph, just as you was calling it. They're saying it is a Bath ball, but I think it may have come off a Bath leg there. Let's take a look at this here.
I think so as well. Again, a great steal by Bath. And I think they tried to do the right thing. And the train that is Joe Cowell in the midfield, and then Met just utilised that kicking game once again.
Yeah, great play there from Met. You know, they lost the ball and it's that desire then to want to win the ball back. Good hands there in the line out. And Ewan Guy now, the captain, with a carry. Again, getting over the gain line. Cowell now, tackling, carrying, he's doing it all tonight. Murphy with a carry. McKay. And it's Johnson, looking strong at 12 tonight. Big hit there. Yeah, and it looks like Cardiff Met you, Steph, really applying the pressure. They've got an advantage.
Yeah, I think they've got to keep it tight here. I think they've got to make the right decision and just slowly edge forward. There's no point trying to rush it. They've got the advantage as well.
Yeah, discipline here is more important than ever for Cardiff Met and Bath. So it's all about now keeping it tight, and they've come back for the advantage here, Cardiff Met. Be interesting to see whether they go for the 3 or they go for the corner.
Yeah, I think they've got the momentum. I'd probably go for the corner maybe, but
and he's took a quick tap. Sheldon with a carry, but it's turned over. Oh, Bath are away. It's a great carry there. Massive hit though from Cardiff Met. And we see the penalty going in Met's favour, and a little bit of a bust up here. It's great, Steph. It's what we want to see for our first game back at Cyncoed in 2024.
Yeah, it is definitely. It's definitely a feisty occasion, and you could see by Met's reaction there after the knock on. It just means a little bit extra, and I think it's all about momentum, and making mistakes like that is not going to do any favours for your momentum.
Yeah, as we take a look at the replay there with a great carry from Sheldon, just not holding on to the ball. And then, in all fairness, you know, it's good hard yards there from Will Jeans. But again, it's Cardiff Met who get the penalty, and we see there Ben Murphy getting up off the floor after receiving a little bit of treatment. In a game like tonight, how important is it that your bench stays on the bench for as long as possible?
Yeah, I think it's important. And, you know, in any of the games in the BUCS Super Rugby calendar, you're going to want your bench to come on and make an impact as well. And when there's conditions like this, where it's probably going to be a tight game, I'd imagine, by the time we tick down to almost the 80 minutes gone, you're going to want your bench players to come on and make an impact, and it'll be no different tonight either.
Yeah, so 8-5 is the score here in Cardiff Met's favour, with 8 minutes left of the first half. Cardiff Met, probably the more dominant side so far, but it's all to play for you. As we take a look at a replay of Steph Davis dancing feet, as we've seen all season long. And again, Sheldon showing his physical prowess with more great carrying. He's been fantastic tonight so far after coming back into the squad this week.
Yes, Steph Davis just, I know this may sound obvious, but he just really understands the game of rugby. He knows when to make the right decisions at the right time, and when he's got that ball in hand, there's not many other people that are more dangerous than him.
Yeah, definitely. And again, now we have a scrum again in Bath's half, and I'm just wondering how important this wind is going to play into Cardiff Met's favour in this half, but maybe Bath's in the second. And Bath get the penalty there, which is massive, because again, Cardiff Met have got the wind on their side in this first half, and they've only managed to get the 1 try so far.
Yeah, Bath will be making sure that they get out of their half and stay out of their half as well. So far, when they've managed to kind of creep out of their own half, they haven't managed to stay there.
Yeah, and it looks like a nice clean kick there to give Bath a good platform now to try and play some rugby.
Yeah, with 6 minutes left of the first half, you don't want to make any silly decisions. You don't really want to do anything that's going to cost you the lead or perhaps put you further down, as Cardiff Met win another line out.
Yeah, it's great from Met, great pressure, and Sheldon again carrying for what must be his 10th carry of the game. And Morgan again looking for another kicking option as it goes out wide to Carrington, who puts his boot through it. Oh. And it's just a little bit too long from Carrington. Right idea once more, but that wind just proving a little bit too strong.
Yeah, I thought he turned into prime Lionel Messi there with that first touch, but no, a little bit too much on it. But yet again, Rory Morgan making those decisions, making Bath turn and putting them under pressure. Cardiff Met so far, I think they've got their game plan pretty spot on.
Yeah, definitely, and it made me laugh there when you mentioned Lionel Messi. I couldn't help but think of Finn Russell in that Six Nations documentary. But hey, if you want to call yourself Lionel Messi when you're taking £1 million home per week, it's okay. But let's take a look at this replay. Again, great pressure from Cardiff Met in the line out, not opting to shy away from the physical battle on the pitch, in the tight areas, in the red zone, but also in the line out. Contesting for everything tonight, Cardiff Met.
Yeah, so far Liam Antrobus has been brilliant in that line-out, and he's really disrupted it, and that's going to be so important, as we've already spoken about. That set piece is going to be key, and especially when you've got 5 minutes left on the clock, you want to try and play in the right positions as much as possible, and Bath not really giving themselves that opportunity at the minute.
Yeah, I'm just trying to look here to see what Bath are playing for you. Looks like they want a different ball, maybe due to this one being a little bit flat.
Maybe it's the hooker asking for another ball. Maybe he said that's the reason they keep losing the line out.
Perhaps, hey. We don't know the reason, but I'm sure that a new ball may help this kick. And it's kicked downfield for Carrington to put one through now. Straight to Owen Lewis though. Owen Lewis looking for the nudge through. Great catch there, great take from the outside half, Ross McKay. Steph Davis looking for the kick. Out on the full though, unfortunately. And Bath now with a line out on Cardiff Met. 22 just outside of. How important is it here for Cardiff Met to show strong defence? But also, how important is it for Bath maybe to get some front foot momentum?
Yeah, it's going to be big for both teams, and as we said, only about 4 minutes left to play in this half. I think that's the first time we've seen Cardiff Met perhaps get that kicking game a little bit wrong, perhaps just trying to rush it a little bit. Sometimes you've got to just take that ball in and regroup as a team, but a chance for Bath nonetheless.
And I'm just noticing there as well, Steph, a better line out from Bath, and they look for Tom Cohen in the midfield. But we do see Max Pearl coming on at hooker. Maybe a tactical change with the line-out not going so well so far?
Perhaps, maybe. I'm trying to look over to the bench. I think that perhaps might be a...
Ooh, and that's a massive collision in the midfield there in Cardiff Met's 22. Will Jeans being the powerhouse for Bath. As Bath now look to get over the white line. Met staying strong in defence.
Again, Bath are going to want to try and just keep this tight and keep ticking the ball over, pushing themselves closer in that red zone.
And they go once, and I'm sure they will try again for the line, as they do through captain Tom Cohen. Will Jeans over the ball there. Cohen again with the carry. That back row really gelling nicely together for Bath.
Still they get closer, keeping it tight. They're making the right decisions at the moment.
Yeah, and a great tip off there, but unfortunately it is knocked on from Bath, and Cardiff Met regain possession of the ball. How significant is that with 2 minutes left of this first half?
Yeah, I think it'll be significant on both fronts really. I think it'll just add to the frustration the Bath have felt in this first half. Not quite being able to make the right decisions in the right places. But that'll be massive for Cardiff Met, knowing that they can keep them out just before half time. A lot of those in the pack really fronting up to the occasion there, with Bath keeping it tight.
Yeah, and as I was watching there, I was noticing the pillars from all of Cardiff Met, you know, really defending as one. How hard is that to defend there in them situations, 5 metres out, you know, players coming at you one after one? How hard is that to defend?
Yeah, when you're in that position, you've got to want to defend, and Cardiff Met really showed themselves wanting to defend. And we can take a little look at it. You know, Met just fronting up to the short ball.
Yeah, just applying pressure there, I think, you know, and I think for Cardiff Met, it's about staying tight as a group off the field, as we've spoken to people off the field like Danny Milton, who said about that morale and being tight off the field, but that correlates to on the field, and then you get results like that, you know, where you apply the pressure and it results in a scrum on the 5 metre here for Cardiff Met instead of Bath having a try. So a massive scrum here for Cardiff Met to be able to exit and maybe get themselves into Bath's half towards the latter stages of this first half. And it's a strong scrum from Cardiff Met with Chris Johnson crashing it up at 12, getting past the gain line, making some good hard yards. Morgan now again looking for the exit with the wind on his side, and that's a great kick as it seems. Great hands there though.
Yeah.
And it's a lovely tip. Oh, and it's knocked on there from the Bath winger Sam Mercer, and we see a bit of afters there. Yeah, a bit of afters there, as no one wants to see in BUCS Super Rugby.
Of the varsity passion. It means so much for both teams, and I think it boiled over a little bit there after the Bath player threw him into the barrier. But no, again, Cardiff Met making the right decisions and playing the game in the right position.
Yeah, look, we can see some smiling faces down there, and that's what BUCS Super Rugby brings sometimes, these rivalries. You know, Bath just on the other side of the bridge. It's a massive rivalry.
I tell you, one man who wasn't smiling was the linesman. I think he almost came into the gantry with us there when he's taken up with a winger.
Hey, well, we were speaking to the linesman and the ref before this game, Steph, and they looked a bit cold, so I think they're a bit warm now.
No, and the referee was saying this is his first BUCS Super Rugby occasion, and what an occasion to do it as well, with the Cardiff Met Ultras in full force, and both teams really up for it as now they have a little chat in midfield.
Yeah, as we take a look at what just occurred there. So, as we see, unfortunate there from the Bath winger, just knocking the ball on, and a late hit there from one of the Mets. From one of the Mets players, Elijah Evans, and it just leads to a flare-up of bodies, young men, and BUCS Super Rugby. It's all going on.
It is. But you know, as soon as it kicks off a little bit, that's what you expect the boys to do, really. It shows that both teams are, you know, a tight-knit group, and I'm not saying you like to see, you know, handbags after something happens in a game, but you know, it's nice to see that both of them care so much about this occasion, isn't it?
Yeah, of course. You know, if that wasn't happening now and again, you'd be questioning where rugby really is. But you know, thankfully there's no cards involved, there's no punches thrown, and we can get back to playing the rugby that we all want to see.
Yeah, and I think the referee and the linesman have had a chat and decided, yeah, there's no need to make any silly decisions here. Both teams were at it, and let's get on with the game.
Yeah, and I'm just looking here at Cardiff Met's forwards walking over the front row. They won this, didn't they, really badly. You know, you can see that they're up for the fight tonight.
And this will be massive now, after that little flare-up. This is going to be a massive scrum. a show of power. Which team now has come on top, out on top with that momentum shift?
Yeah, again, but it's also now about that mindset change. You know, tempers are flared, but now I think they need to keep it calm and make sure that they use that anger that happened just now and put it into the right place.
And perhaps into the stand, because I think the clock has turned red in the first half.
Yeah, and it's a great scrum there from Met as Bath wheel the scrum.
And a chance for Met now if they can put this in the right position to go into half time with a bigger lead.
Yeah, and that's why I was saying about the front row coming over. You know, it's just showing that anticipation that they won this game. And that is unfortunate for Cardiff Met. They're out on the full from the kick. With the last kick of the half, as it looks like, Steph. So that is half time. 8-5 is the score in this tremendous battle between Bath and Cardiff Met. Cardiff Met looking to get revenge on their arch rivals from over the bridge. And so far, they're doing the job.
Yeah. As we take a look at that scrum that happened just before the final whistle, Cardiff Met going in at half time with a little bit more momentum now, knowing that they had the upper hand of the last scrum of the first half.
Yeah, and we see both sides here going off into the changing rooms. That's not always something that happens here at Cyncoed. Do you think it's because of the weather, Steph?
Yeah, I think so, and I think the weather's going to play a part in a game like this. But I think both teams, on the whole, have dealt with the weather quite well. They've still tried to play their game. I think Met so far have played the game better, have played the weather better. They've been kicking and making the decisions in the right place, and I think Rory Morgan's been a key aspect of that.
Yeah, 100%. And I think, as we look out now at these conditions, Met obviously had the wind with their advantage just now. They're playing now against the wind in the second half. How important is that going to be that they utilise the kicking game, but also the Bath can use the wind to their advantage?
Yeah, I think we'll probably see them kicking less, but I think it'd be more important in the second half of the kicking game, because they've got to make the right decisions on when to kick and how to kick as well. There's no point kicking for the sake of it. You've got to kick to turn the defence and put them under pressure, because, well, I certainly wouldn't want to be catching a high ball out there tonight. I'm telling you that. It's cold.
Yeah, well, I thought you was a gracious player to watch there.
No, I got my gloves in my pocket as well.
Hey, don't worry, I got the hat and the glasses on tonight so I can see everything in these conditions. But let's just talk about the second half a little bit more now. So we've just seen tempers flare. You can see emotions coming into this game. How important is it that these experienced players that have been around Cardiff Met, around Bath for a couple of years, the third, the fourth years, step up now and really drive their team on to keep their heads cool?
Yeah. You asked me earlier about is it more important about the physicality aspect or mentally? It's mentally, and that's whether you switch on and keep switched on, but also keep in your head as well when tempers flare up, and also making the right decisions in the right place. I'm going to drill that line into everyone that's listening by the end of the night.
Yeah, of course, and obviously 8-5 is tight. It's not as if either side is going in here and going to be like saying oh, we've got this in the locker. Both sides are going in and they're saying to each other, come on boys, this is all to play for you. Am I correct?
Yeah, and a big second half definitely, and I'm certainly looking forward to another jam-packed second half.
Yeah, well, that's been the first half here at Cardiff Met, but now let's take a little look at one of our other stars on campus, Danai Mugabe.
Firstly, thanks for joining me here. It's the home of rugby at Cardiff Met, the pitch of Rugby One. But I was so stunned when you told me that you'd only been playing for 3 years. So yeah. It's incredible you've been able to acquire such a high level of skill in such a short time. Do you feel that it's come natural to you?
I feel like definitely when I play my best this season compared to last season, the difference is I'm just more confident. I don't have to think about what I'm doing. I can just make the space. I'm confident I'm going to make the tackle. So I think it's just definitely a mentality and mindset that makes a difference in someone's game.
Well, you're quite lucky at Cardiff Met. You get to have training and coaching from Lisa Newton and Eleanor Snowstill. What experience is it to be trained and coached by them?
Yeah, both of them being ex-Welsh internationals, I think it's class because they've got knowledge that none of us will ever acquire unless we're at that stage in our rugby careers. And Lisa, you know, she's great with the forwards and great with the defence, and then now we've got Eleanor Snowstill, who's amazing in attack. So pairing them two together, I think that's why we're doing so well this season.
And you also got the chance to play at Arms Park. What type of feeling was that?
That was unreal. Like, that felt like a proper, you know, international kind of vibe. Even without the crowd there, just walking into that stadium, you know, not everyone gets to play there. Able to be in those settings is just what drives you even more.
We're on the ground of Rugby One here at Cardiff Met, but right over there behind us, I think the biggest hit that I've ever seen on this pitch. Yeah. I'd just like to show you a little bit of a video just to refresh your memory.
Out because absolute smash of a tackle there.
You know, I just come off the bench, you know, I was bouncing and I was just raring to get onto the pitch. So I didn't even ask for feedback on that hit. Lisa comes up to me and goes, you're very lucky, you need to lower your body height.
I asked you who your biggest inspiration is, and you said your mum.
Yeah, I think my mum, I've never met somebody with work ethic like my mum. Before we moved to the UK, we all grew up in Zimbabwe, my whole family. I was playing all these sports. My mum was working 3 jobs just to make sure she'd take me to all these sports. I think just seeing my mum work that hard, just seeing her willing to put all that sacrifice in for us.
She must be so proud as well to see your such quick development. You're doing so well in this sport. So are you kind of playing for her as well?
Yeah, so she likes to come down to watch my game. You know, she was there at Cardiff Clash. Every time my parents were there, you know, I just immediately think I've got to put on a bit of a show.
Thank you so much for being here with me tonight, Gabi.
Thank you for having me.
A great feature there on Denai Mugabe. And I'm here with someone who knows Denai very well. Cardiff Met scrum half and Britton Thunder scrum half, Seren Singleton. Seren, how impressive is Denai as a player?
Yeah, well, obviously you could see there, like, Dana's a massive asset to the team. Her physicality, her speed, and like her capability to play 7 and wing is just class, and it's like a great asset to have in the team. She can go in the forwards and then she can also cover in the backs when we need her to.
And how much has she developed at her time at Metcha?
Yeah, no, she's come on loads, especially this season. Like, she's scoring like hat-tricks like every game. Yeah, but she's really developing into a proper, really good player now.
And obviously you played together for Britton Thunder in the Celtic Challenge. Can you just explain to the viewers at home who might not know what the Celtic Challenge is and how you've been getting on?
Yeah, so it's a competition where we've got 2 Welsh teams, which is basically like regions. Yeah, so I've been playing with Dan every weekend for the last like 4 weekends. We've been doing all right, but we've got a game coming up on the weekend now, which we have a good chance of winning. But it's just been a great experience to be able to play with experienced internationals and just playing against girls at a higher level and a higher standard. It's been a good experience.
And how different have you found it playing with players outside of Cardiff Met as well, from sort of wider Wales?
Yeah, I mean, it's been pretty good. There's a few of us Met girls involved in the one that I'm involved in. So there's 2 teams and there's like a split of Met girls in either team. So there's not many Met backs involved in my team, but I've been connecting with the girls and just training in a new environment with new people, so I've had to adapt like quickly, especially playing with a different 10 as well. Like, I've had to learn how she plays. But it's been good.
And you mentioned playing with a different 10 there. Obviously you played with Nicole at Met. You played against each other a couple of weeks ago, didn't you? How was that
we did.
Experience?
We played against each other. She played for Edinburgh. I mean, I'd rather play with her than against her. It wasn't really the best being with her being on the other team, but you know, at the end of the day, the game's a game, and you're not friends on the pitch, but we're always friends after.
And you mentioned you're always friends after. Obviously, you're playing together at Met. You've got 2 games left of the regular season. What's the aims now going into those 2 games?
So we're top 2 on the table now, so we've got 2 games left. So hopefully we win those 2 games and we'll finish second, and then we'll get an easier quarter-final hopefully, and then a home semis as well then. So good.
So we got a picture of the table there just for you to see how the girls are getting on. You've had a really good season, as you mentioned. How much do you think Cardiff Met Women's Rugby has developed this season, and how much has the programme sort of improved?
Yeah, definitely. Since last season, we've developed so much. We've had loads of new girls come in from the 18s and under 20s. So that's been a massive asset to us as Met this season. We had a really good pre-season as well, which also helped us. We've never had that before, which goes to show. And then we've had new coaches come in like Snowy and Gareth Baber, and they've really helped us with all their experience as well. So it's been good.
And what's it been like playing under Eleanor Slowsill? Obviously a former Welsh international, great experience in the game. What's it been like learning from her?
Yeah, no, it's been really good. Obviously Snowy is one of those girls that we've all looked up to playing when we were younger. So it's great to have her in the team. She brings so much experience, and I think the girls like really value like what a good coach she is.
And obviously your last game before Christmas was a Cardiff clash. How great of an occasion was that for you, and how great was it to get a try as well? Yeah,
no, that was really good. I think, it was good to finish the last game of the season with a win. But coming back from Dubai, then it was a bit. I got cramp and everything because I hadn't been playing and stuff. So but it was good.
And just for the viewers at home who might not know, what were you out in Dubai doing?
I was playing sevens out in Dubai for a week, so that was good fun.
And how was that as an experience as well, sort of as your development? What did you get up to, that kind of thing?
Yeah, no, we went with the Air Sevens. It was a really good experience. We'd played together before with some of us Welsh Sevens players, so that was a really good experience to get to play with everyone again. But it was good. It was great fun.
Well, I imagine it's slightly better conditions than we've got behind us tonight.
Yeah.
What do you think the Cardiff Met coaching team will be saying at half time? Obviously they're playing against the wind in the second half, so what do you think they will be saying?
Yeah, no, I think the boys are doing really well. They're keeping it tight, letting the forwards do the work, because as you can see it's really wet. But no, I think the boys are just keep doing what they're doing, and I'm sure they'll come out on top tonight.
And obviously you're a scrum half. How difficult is it as a scrum half to sort of pick the ball up from the back of the ruck in these kind of conditions?
Yeah, it's definitely difficult in these conditions, as obviously the mud and the rain, but we just need to keep the forwards tight and just keep going. And Rory's putting a few class kicks in as well, which is giving them momentum, so they're doing really well. And
obviously you mentioned Rory there. Do you sort of learn off each other as sort of scrum halves, or are you sort of, because there's one club at Cardiff Met, aren't you? So do you sort of work together?
Not so much. I guess the boys train after us, so sometimes we stay and watch. And when we watch the men's games, you can always take tips of what the boys do. But that's it. Yeah.
And obviously the Six Nations is coming up this weekend. I think I know where your allegiances might lie, but how do you think Wales will get on in the Six Nations?
Yeah, obviously they've got a really young squad again this season, but we've got to back Wales. I think they'll do all right.
And speaking of internationals, obviously Gareth Baber, he's had great experience at Fiji. You mentioned him earlier. Just how great is it to be learning off people like him at Met?
Yeah, no, Gareth he's a great asset. He comes into our sessions. He helps me a lot as well as a 9. He'll always give me tips. He'll give me new drills to focus on. And with a lot of sevens that we've got coming up in the summer, he'll be involved with that. So it'll be great to see what he can bring to that as well.
Brilliant. Well, thank you very much, Seren, for coming up. Thank you for braving the conditions coming across. We're going to throw back to our commentary team now. When the voice you'll be next to him will be the voices of Stefan Leonard and Spencer O'Connell.
Young girls at Cardiff Met, all around Wales, to be involved with and develop their game.
Yeah, I think the Celtic Cup's really important as well. I think they have the chance to play at a high level and play with some women who've played on the highest of levels as well. So it's only really going to be great for people like Sarah and to develop and come back to Cardiff Met and then be an even better player. So all around it's just a great kind of development aspect.
Yeah, and do you think it's going to help the pathway to professional rugby for Welsh women?
Yeah, I think so, definitely. And I think if we're looking at it from a purely Cardiff Met perspective as well, it's going to develop Cardiff Met further as well, because people are going to want to come here because they know they can have the opportunity to go for Celtic Cup as well. So no, it's definitely a positive, and I've enjoyed watching some of the games as well. They've been really great.
Yeah, and I'm just looking behind now, starting to see some of the coaches coming out, some of the physios coming out, but yet to see any players. What do you think they've been saying during this period in the changing room?
Yeah, I think both teams, neither team have really done anything wrong. I think Cardiff Met have got more right so far, and I think both teams will know that this is a big second half, especially for Cardiff Met as well, because they're obviously going to be playing against the swirling wind we can see here as Bath make their way onto the field. But yeah, both teams just need to do the right things in the right place and keep a hold of that ball and play their rugby in the opposition's 22.
Yeah, so we can see there, the weather. The rain really has taken up a little notch in the last 10 minutes during half-time, and the wind alongside it. How crucial is it going to be now, Steph? Bath out first, showing that they want to be here, they want to play rugby as they await Cardiff Met. How crucial is the next 10 minutes?
Yeah, it's massively important, and Cardiff Met didn't necessarily have the best start to the first half, but they'll want to make sure that they start quickly, and so we see them running out onto the pitch now. But no, Cardiff Met will definitely want to strike first, or at least play their rugby in the Bath 22. But there's 40 minutes worth of rugby still to come, and it's all still in the balance. A close game, 8 points to 5.
Yeah, and we see now Cardiff Met back out onto the field here at Rugby One as we await for Raf Weston of Bath to get us back underway. A massive 10 minutes await us, because it is going to be crucial to see who takes advantage in this second half. But 40 minutes of rugby awaits Rugby One as Raf Weston gets us underway with a great take. And again, Rory Morgan setting up the platform here, exiting and kicking into the wind this half. Nonetheless, a great kick to start things off. And again, reciprocated there from Bath, but the mark is called by Ross McKay.
Yeah, the right decision there, I think, calling the mark, just settling things down, getting their hands on the ball nice and early, and a chance to get themselves out to their 22 now and put the ball into, well, possibly into touch. No, not quite into touch.
Yeah, unfortunately there, the ball just not going far enough into touch for McKay. Similar thing happened in the first half for Raf Weston quite a lot, but nonetheless, Met now another job on their mind, trying to defend Bath here on the 22 as they carry through the captain, Ewan Guy.
Yeah, those strong carries that we saw from people like Ewan Guy in the first half are going to be really important again in the second half, just to keep that ball in tight sometimes to secure the ball.
Yeah, and another big test here for Rory Morgan with an awkward kick to catch for Bath there. Ooh. With good pressure applied by Carrington. Bath regained possession and they carry now in the midfield. And it's going to be interesting to see if Bath can just keep the ball, play a little bit of rugby, get some momentum in the first moments of this first half.
Yeah, that's something they didn't quite get to do in the first half, was play their rugby where they wanted to play.
That's a lovely kick. Same idea as Rory Morgan had lots of times in the first half. But it is Porter Goodrum into the squad for Romazeng this week.
Yeah, and he's done well there until he got tackled at the end. He's really got Met out of a sticky situation.
Yeah, again, awkward bounce to the ball and a good pick up there from Goodrum. But he is smashed as he carries the ball into Bath's defence.
Morgan looking to relieve that pressure again, and there's nothing wrong with that.
Oh. Yeah, again, an awkward kick for any Bath player to catch there, as it sort of spirals in the wind back towards Cardiff Met. but it is Mackenzie Graham with a carry, and then gives it out wide. Ooh. And the kick is kicked out on the full from replacement Austin Emmons. Emmons on at fullback now, and that is not something he will want to be doing early on, coming onto the pitch to get his confidence up.
No, we spoke a little bit about that at half time. You know, the kicking game is going to be different for both teams now in the second half, because you're realistically playing the opposite of what you did in the first half, and maybe just a sign there that he's put a little bit too much onto it and he hasn't quite thought it through.
Yeah, and the line out right directly below us here, and unfortunately not gathered there this time by Antrobus, and it's all a bit scrappy here, but it is a knock on by Bath, which leads to a Met scrum and a Met put in. Expected after maybe a long break and coming out to tougher conditions in the first half, maybe just finding themselves back into the second half of this game.
Yeah, well, we saw the first half as well, as we see that kick go a bit askew there. But no, we saw it in the first half. It took a little bit longer to get into it in the first half, and it's going to be the same in the second as well. Although we saw both teams with a little bit of fire in their bellies by the time they went in at half time.
Yeah, and we have got a bird's eye view with this scrum here.
Yeah, and it's strong from both teams, really.
Yeah, Cowell just popping out there, but strong from both teams. And it will be a reset at the scrum.
Yeah, neither side really getting the best of each other in the scrum, really. They've been relatively good so far from both teams.
Yeah, something that I wanted to mention as well is the battle of the centres has been interesting for me in the first half, and I think it will continue to play a big role in the second half. As you see, James Short for Bath, I think, he brings that dynamicness, whereas Will Rue brings that brute force at 12, and the same really for Cardiff Met. And again, Benji Williams there, with a great carry, Chris Johnson offering himself, but it is Rory Morgan here with Met. And Morgan passes to Guy. Captain with another carry. And Morgan looks for that chip through again, but it is collected by Johan Lewis, who puts boot to foot.
Yeah, a good kick there from Johan Lewis, just relieving the pressure and forcing Cardiff Met now to make a decision.
Yeah, good run with a big kick here. And probably not what he would have wanted, but with the conditions as they are, he'll take that.
Yeah, I don't think he'll mind that. He just got Cardiff Met out of a tricky little situation.
Yeah, and now Bath with another line out. And we can see maybe the importance of this win tonight, as Bath applying pressure similar to what Cardiff Met done in the first half.
Yeah, and this will be a big line out for Max Pierce. They got a few line outs wrong in the first half, really, but they want to make sure that they can secure it in the second half. And do they just about? Yes,
they do just about. And that's a great effort there from Joe Cowell to hold it up. But Bath now on the front foot in this second half. Lewis to Will Rue with that brute force. And it's knocked on from Bath there.
A chance to play, maybe.
Yeah. Elijah Evans with ball. Morgan with the ball now. Looks for that kick and go, but instead decides to carry by himself.
Yeah, good defence there from Bath. Putting pressure on Rory Morgan there. Not letting him to do what he wants to do, which so many times this season he's been allowed to do.
Yeah, and again he looks for the box kick here, just to get Met out of danger and apply some pressure.
Yeah, and great pressure in that, and I think Carrington's forced a fumble into touch, and it'll be Cardiff Met ball inside the Bath half.
How impressed have you been with Josh Carrington tonight? First start back since injury. Big boots to fill as well in this wingers positions in this team. How impressed have you been?
Yeah, definitely. Very impressed. I think the back three for Cardiff Met are key aspects to their game. We've spoken about the fact that they can counter-attack and run the ball back and he's been a key aspect of that whole season. So it was a shame when he went out, and you always question how he'd be when he came back. But no, he's looked strong today. He hasn't had much of the ball really in hand, but he's been relatively strong defensively.
Yeah, and now Met again on the front foot, looking to kick again through Rory Morgan at 9. Just kicking to the right areas, it seems. However, Bath now look like they see something on. And it's given back to Met through the laces. McKay. We're just unlucky there with the kick. As it goes out on the full, we heard the screams from him. Unfortunate there from Ross McKay.
Yeah, it is. It was the right idea, I think. And yeah, he's just trying to relieve the pressure a little bit again, but yeah, silly. That's what Bath really did incorrectly in the first half. They were making silly mistakes and allowing Met to just keep the pressure on and stay in their half. That's something that Cardiff Met can't afford to do themselves in the second.
Yeah, and now Bath with an opportunity of their own. Line out on the 22. Jeans collects.
And it's Bath's turn now to try and get the nudge on. Something that Cardiff Met did to great effect in the first half of that try.
Yeah. Max Pearl making a difference with the line out since coming on. Seems a bit more cleaner.
Yeah, and he's looked really good running as well when they've kept it tight.
And they do keep it tight. And they keep going and going against Cardiff Met.
Yeah. Is the ball there? Nope. Cardiff Met have done very well there. They've just bullied him into not being able to release that ball. So yeah, Cardiff Met would be really, really happy with that.
Yeah, and we heard the screams there from Alan Williams, forwards coach down below. Collapse maul was the screams. Something they work on in training.
Yeah, and it's one of those aspects of the game that you've got to get totally right. Otherwise, you're going to give a penalty away. And Met were nice and compact, and they were patient as well, and they brought it down just at the right time.
Yeah, so again, another pivotal scrum here, as it is a Cardiff Met put in their own 22. They just need a clean exit here.
Yeah, definite. I wouldn't be surprised if we perhaps saw them go wide a little bit, hit one of the centres and try and regroup and come around the corner again, and then see what happens then. But no, definitely need to not play their rugby in this half.
Yeah, and we could see Cohen knew what was coming there. Benji Williams picked up at 8. Wanted to go early but didn't. Cowell with the carry now. Morgan wants to set up that platform for the box kick.
Yeah, I'm surprised they came back to the blind, but Morgan still manages to put a great kick in, so maybe I underestimated his abilities there.
Yeah, that was a great kick, but followed up by Austin Emmons of Bath. But it is a great take.
And great feat from Rory Morgan. He's been exceptional in this game again.
Guy with a pick and go. Brandon Harvey now with the ball in hand. Morgan dictating players to get in front of him to protect him so that he can get clear ball. And he does so. And Ralph Weston puts one down there straight to Ross McKay. Steph Davis has it. And he's going to look to run. Good effort, but just stopped on the 10-metre line. Cowell now looking for the carry, as he does. And he's supported by Brandon Harvey.
Yeah, I think that's one man who will want to grow more into this game, Brandon Harvey. We haven't really seen a lot of him on the ball yet, and that's one of his key strengths, so he'll be really important to grow into the game for Met.
Yeah, I think with a game like this, for someone like Brandon Harvey, it's important that you get into the game. But talking again into the game is Bath out wide. Bath out wide through Sam Mercer, great carry. And they are looking to get themselves into this game and put a proper stand into Rugby One. Again, they go through the forwards.
Yeah, an advantage there for Bath as well. They'll be looking to do something a little bit different here. A free play for them. But no, they keep it tight to the minute.
Yeah. Again, they keep it tight, but maybe they'll go out wide soon. but they don't. Again into Met's pack. Mackenzie Graham now with a strong carry. Mackenzie Graham, he's over the line. Graham under the post, the first try of the second half and the second try of the game. Cardiff Met 8, Bath 10.
Yeah, that was great from Bath. They just kept coming around the corner, they kept it simple, and in the end Cardiff Met's defence just kind of crumbled and a massive gap opened up. It was like the Red Sea and he could just trot over under the posts.
Yeah, great work there, I think, from Bath to trust themselves up front.
Yeah, you can see they just keep it simple, just pick and go.
Yeah, and it's two boys who have been so dominant tonight for Cardiff Met, Joe Cowell and Evan Sheldon, just slipping off the tackles there, unfortunately.
Yeah, Mackenzie Graham just seeing and utilising the space, and yeah, it's as simple as he wanted it to be then in the end. But no, well, that's what Cardiff Met did so well in the first half, and I think something they need to keep going in the second half as well. Not trying to overplay, but so far Bath have done a really good job of pinning them back into their own half.
Yeah, and the kick successful there, and it is now 12-8 to Bath. So this is the replay of the try. That break from Mercer out on the left wing that started the attack for Bath. It was great feet, great strength down the left hand wing for Bath, which was finished off in the end by Mackenzie Graham.
I think defensively there you've got to ask questions of Met. The chase wasn't quite up to it, and then Bath were able to fling the ball out wide and really put Met under pressure.
Yeah, and you just get the feeling here, as we've been restarted here, that Bath have cemented themselves into this game now.
Yeah, definitely. When you compare it to the first half, Met were dominant, but now we maybe are seeing a shift in momentum, but there's still plenty of rugby to be played there.
Yeah, and it's kicked high from Bath, and Benji William receives the ball, but he goes into the brick wall of Bath's defence. And you see the line speed there, really, really fast from Bath. It's like as if they've changed a gear. Morgan again looking for the box kick on the halfway line. Different plays to what we've seen before Christmas from Cardiff Met, Steph.
Yeah, and I think for once perhaps the kick wasn't quite the right option there.
But it's charged down. But he's offside, I think, there, Ewan Guy. Not 10 metres, says the referee, and they will go now back for the penalty.
Yeah. It'd be interesting to see what Bath do for the free kick. Will they just kick it up in the air, a spiral bomb?
Yeah. I think you predicted it there with the spiral bomb, and they get the reward. They get a knock-on advantage, so now they can play rugby, Bath, and they do. Weston looks for the crossfield kick. Lovely touch, great football from Rory Crum. And Bath is space on in the blind, but it's turned over from Cardiff Met.
Yeah, it's brilliant from both teams there. Brilliant from Bath to have the vision to go wide and try something different. A great first touch as well, and then Cardiff Met just making those hard yards, getting behind the ball and forcing the turnover in the end. So yeah, brilliant from both teams, and Bath showing again that they can be dangerous when they try something different.
Yeah, great energy there from both sides in the conditions. They're showing real great aspiration out there tonight, and great energy there from Cardiff Met to get back and defend.
Yeah, looking for Rory Crum on the wing there, and I called Joshua Carrington messy in the first half, and I think that was a better touch, but no, Bath not quite able to get there. But again, they have Cardiff Met where they want them in their own 22.
Yeah, and we look now at the replay of that kick. Very cheeky there from the outside half, and a lovely touch from Rory Crum, and it was definitely the right decision, but a magnificent turnover there from Cardiff Met. And now Cardiff Met try to get themselves out of danger. But first there's a substitution here. Captain Ewan Guy unfortunately leaving the field, but it is also fortunate as third year Bertie Taylor makes way onto the field. Alongside that we have Connor Chapman coming onto the field. Experienced Connor Chapman coming on for George Merritt. Happy with those changes?
Yeah, I think it's something needed to change a little bit for Cardiff Met, something a little bit different. And yeah, there's nothing wrong with your bench boys coming on, the bomb squad, to try and to change things around, because I think momentum at the moment is perhaps with Bath.
Yeah, and unfortunately the first line out there for Chapman doesn't go to hand. So Bath now with possession of the ball. Will Jeans again with a carry. Really impressing tonight, Will Jeans. But they go back now for the scrum, which will be a Bath put in.
Yeah, it's been quite the stop and start so far in the second half. You can expect that with the conditions. So yeah, again, getting the best of each other in the set piece is going to be important, because winning those penalties and then putting themselves where they want to be then is important. You see the Cardiff Met pack just regrouping, having a word. And I think it needed to happen as well. I think momentum's sort of shifted towards Bath's side at the moment, and Cardiff Met need to put themselves in the right decision.
Yeah, and we see Di Watts going over there with the water, the electrolytes, but not only is he taking them nutrition, he's going to be giving words of advice. What do you think those words of advice will be?
That they need to play in the right position. So far they've been pinned back as Bath were in the first half in their own half, and obviously that's something you just can't do, because you're going to concede points at some point in the game if you're pinned back in your own 22.
Yeah, and we take a look now at that carry from Benji Williams off the back of the scrum, which just gives a really good platform there for Rory Morgan to then be able to play off when your number 8 is so strong, Steph.
Yeah, definite. And Bath did that relatively well in the first half, and yeah, it would be really important again to give that platform to people like Rory Morgan to do what they want to do, and when they do what they want to do, they do it well.
Yeah, and as we see the scrum now, we have replacement Ellis Hogan on at 9 for player of the week last week, Johan Lewis. But Cardiff Met, you looking dominant in the scrum. And do you think that's a vital change for Bath, taking off Johan Lewis and bringing on Hogan?
Yeah, I think Lewis had a relatively good first half. Talking about the conditions, they weren't able to play their rugby really in the right areas, but no, fresh legs are always important, and your scrum half can be so important to the tempo you play at in the game. So having some fresh legs on would be only beneficial for Bath, I'd assume.
Yeah, massive win there though for Bath as they get a scrum penalty. As we can see the ref giving demonstrations there of Met going down in the scrum. So Weston then looks for the corner, and he finds the corner just shy of the 5 metre line there. So Bath now in a really good position to maybe pull away in this game.
Yeah, definitely. They'll definitely want to capitalise on this, and I'm assuming they'll probably hit the front and then try and drive over the line as Cardiff Met did in the first.
Oh, it's disruption going on everywhere.
Yeah, that'll be a mistake that'll really haunt Bath if Cardiff Met can come back into this, because when you're in that 5 metre line and you've got a line out, you're sort of expecting to cross that white line.
Yeah, and it just looks like Cardiff Met now trying to set that platform in order to have a strong exit. Morgan now looking at the ball to boot the ball, and he does so. Emmons with the take. A very good carry there from Emmons. Hogan now. Dingy and the Bath boys all getting around him. Hogan. But it is knocked on from Bath. Cardiff Met just doing what they need to do at the minute to scrape this out and stay in this game.
Yeah, I'm not quite sure if the referee gave that knock on or if it was Alan Williams on the touchline. You could hear the screams of knock on, but no. Yeah, great defence for Cardiff Met again, really fronting up to the play, and that's what they've got to do, and they've got to find a way now to get themselves back into this game, because they're not playing in the right areas at the minute. Well, they're not getting the opportunity to play in the right areas.
Yeah, and we predicted this maybe due to the weather, and we've mentioned it quite a few times tonight. But you have to when the weather is this bad. It is hard to play in.
It is. It's hard to play in. You know, you've got to just try and play the rugby you know you can play. But the people I'm probably more thankful for is the fans. It's incredible to see so many of the Archers faithful out again, and they'll be happy with that decision. Cardiff Met can try and get themselves out of their own 22.
Yeah, the scrum really, you know, varying in dominance tonight. It looks like maybe Bath are just edging it, and then all of a sudden Cardiff Met come in with a really strong scrum. Maybe just a mentality thing of which team goes into that scrum thinking they can win it.
Yeah, and momentum is so important in rugby, isn't it? And I think at the minute, well, up to this point, Bath have definitely had it. Met just needs something big to happen to try and swing that momentum. A big carry, a big hit, or a good line out to start with.
Yeah, and this is a colossal line out here for Cardiff Met. Chapman gets this one correct. Such a significant set piece to get correct there, in order not only for Cardiff Met to get a good platform, as they do, but also for Connor Chapman to get confidence in his throwing. And Cardiff Met, yeah,
and the advantage as well, a chance to play.
That's exactly what they wanted, and Morgan puts a silly one in the air, some may call that. But yeah, just maybe one in the penalty, settle things down, and get the ball down there.
Yeah, perhaps, yeah. It was worth a try, but I'd like to see them try something a little bit different. Yeah, and the scrum here, just a solid scrum from both teams, but Bath in the end drive in, but illegally, of course, the referee says. I think both teams as well, their packs have been very important to them so far in this game, especially when you look at the weather like this. The packs really give you that platform to play on. Cardiff Met did it very well in the first half, but Bath have done it exceptionally well in the second half. So Cardiff Met's pack just need to front up a little bit more again now. Get those big boys, Brandon Harvey, Joe Cowell, really running, making those hard yards. I think Met can then swing the momentum in their favour.
Yeah, and again, a line out here for Met, and it's important for that pack to ensure there's clean ball, which it almost was, but unfortunately it wasn't. And Bath regained possession again, just making the job harder for themselves here, Cardiff Met.
Yeah,
and the ball looked like a little knock on there as well, and there is advantage to Bath, and they have numbers out wide if they can see it. And unfortunate from Raf Weston, because it was on out wide, the ball just slipped through his hands.
Yeah, it's a mistake. It's a sign of the conditions again, but the numbers are definitely on outside there, and a slip of the fingers in the end.
Yeah, I mean, it happens to the best of us, right?
Yeah, I don't know, speak for yourself, Spence.
So anyway, we are now back to another scrum in this game, where again, we're going to be looking at the packs, because Cardiff Met dominant in the last scrum. Will they be in this one?
Yeah, Bath just need to keep their discipline, not give away a penalty here, because they're already in a position where this is going to be a key aspect of the game here. When you're in positions like this, it can swing the momentum in either favour. If Bath get a penalty, they're out of trouble, but if Met win the penalty, they're in the 22.
Yeah, and it looks like a dominant scrum there from Met, but the ball is safe at the back. And again, Bath decide to kick the ball. Steph Davis gonna run the ball now. Emmons with a crucial tackle there, not to allow Davis through the gap. Morgan, Sheldon again with a carry, big bounce off there.
Yeah, great yards from him there, and that's what I said, it's going to be really important for them to put a platform, as I think Morgan will look to kick once more.
Yeah, the aerial battle, well and truly. Oh, lovely stuff there from Rory Morgan, as Elijah Evans is on the end of that. And Morgan again now, look for quick ball. Again, puts foot the ball.
One.
Interesting kick, yeah. Steph Davis putting pressure on the opposition. Replacement 15, Emmons, who gets smashed to the ground. And a good kick chase there from Cardiff Met. And all of a sudden, they're in the Bath's 5 metre.
Yeah, Steph Davis and Joshua Carrington there just pouncing on them, putting the pressure on, and now Met want to keep them in this position, force a mistake from Bath.
Yeah, and now Bath really importantly need a clean exit here. Otherwise, they could quite easily allow Cardiff Met back into the game. And it's not a bad exit in these conditions, but not a great exit either, which allows Met now a line out in the opposition 22.
Yeah, and we have a look at Rory Morgan's cheeky little kick here. I thought he made the wrong decision kicking, but he certainly knows better than me on what a kick it was. And then again, Rory Morgan just fast ball off the base of the scrum, another kick, and then Steph Davis and Josh Carrington just pouncing on them, hunting as a pack, and forcing Bath into their own 5 metre line. So that's more like it from Cardiff Met, playing in the right areas and trying to pin them back.
Yeah, I mean, when I seen that ball kicked into midfield, I was questioning it, but all of a sudden Elijah Evans shot out of nowhere.
Yeah, and we got about 14 minutes left here at Rugby One, and I think if there's ever an occasion where Cardiff Met would be relatively happy with not being too far behind. We saw them play Bathai on the weekend. They were down to 14 men, 10 points behind. It looked all to do, and a lot of teams would have perhaps crumbled under that pressure. But not Cardiff Met. They forced the game. They made sure they were there to the final whistle, and they come away with a win in the end. So I think if there's ever a time where Cardiff Met will feel relatively confident that they can turn this around, they'll definitely be feeling it tonight.
Yeah, and you just mentioned that 33-31 win there in the Championship against Baylor on Saturday. And for the people at home, Steph, who maybe don't know so much about the Championship League in Wales and maybe just think that Cardiff Met compete in BUCS Super Rugby, how important is it that Cardiff Met do well in both leagues? And, speaking to Danny Milton, he's said some things about it, so just let the people at home know how important that league is.
Yeah, it's really important. Obviously, the second tier of the highest level of rugby you can play in the domestic game here in Wales. And I think it's really important, not only in terms of the development of the players being able to play 2 games a week sometimes and having 2 different squads as well. It's really important in that aspect, but also as well in terms of momentum. If you can win on a Wednesday, win on a Saturday, that momentum's going to carry over and the boys are just going to feel a buzz. And we've spoken so much this season about the culture within Cardiff Met, the women's and the men's. Just one squad, one team, and that kind of exemplifies it. The fact that they want to win every Wednesday and they also really want to win on a Saturday as well.
Yeah, and you've mentioned that buzz there, and we're feeling that buzz here now at Rugby One. As you were speaking there, Cardiff Met getting possession back of the ball once more. A lost line out, but again, applying that pressure, getting a knock on from Bath, and now they have the scrum on the 22. So Morgan with the put in. And Benji Williams with a sneaky dart to the right, down the blind side. And now Met look to attack with a great carry there, supported in a pod by Barnaby Waddle, who is now off the bench.
They've got to be patient, they've got to keep it tight for the advantage. Perhaps they'll try something a little different. Steph Davis wants it out wide, I can tell you that.
Yeah, and again they go through Brandon Harvey, who has cemented himself into this game as it's gone on. And now they continue to look for the fresh legs. Chapman waits, but it's Sheldon who goes.
I think a fresh advantage perhaps for Cardiff Met.
Yeah, and Cowell now looking for the pick and go. What can he do? But a strong defence from Bath.
They've got numbers out wide, I tell you that. Goodrum's calling for it.
Oh, and it's on, goes for a kick. It's so close, but it's dropped for Steph Davis. Steph Davis, and they're all trying to drive him over the line. But, unfortunately, just shy. Elijah Evans goes in the corner. And he's tackled as well.
Yeah, he manages.
And Goodrum now looks to step in at 9, but Morgan stays at 9 as he looks for Harvey with a carry. Who's coming into his own now? Cowell with a carry.
Yeah, that's unlucky for Cardiff Met. Perhaps just running out of patience in the end, but they do have that advantage.
Yeah, it's great rugby from Cardiff Met. Exactly what they would have wanted.
Yeah, and the referee's saying they got 2 options here. Where do they want to take it? I think they should take it in the corner and put it out. Or perhaps they'll fancy a cheeky tap and go.
Yeah, do you think in a situation like this, where the conditions aren't the best, the wind is howling you, do you go for the line out or do you go for a tap and go? Well, they've gone for the tap and go.
Yeah, they've got the momentum, so go for it. Keep it
Morgan
tight.
now with the ball. Cowell with the carry. They're going to keep it tight. They're going to have to with these conditions. And they go again.
Patience is needed here from Cardiff Met.
Yeah. And again through Brandon Harvey. And the ball is slipped forward, unfortunately, and Cardiff Met miss another opportunity.
And
it's a great kick from Bath here. Steph Davis misses the ball, and it's kicked forward. But a great pickup from Elijah Evans. And now we breathe. But it looks like a knock-on from Steph Davis, which means a Bath scrum. And I think the referee has got that one correct.
I don't know if I agree with you there, Spence. I thought the ball had gone back as he was sliding, but yeah, he's closer to me. I think Rory Morgan stating the case there, but nevertheless, a great kick from Bath to relieve the pressure, and no one was home for Cardiff Met. And it just, again, playing rugby in the right position and putting Met under the cosh.
Yeah, and with 10 minutes left on the clock, how vital was that missed opportunity? And we can hear over there the Archers crowd screaming.
Yeah, a cheeky look at the cross kick there, and it was almost in Goodrum's hand, and Steph Davis had a go as well. And then I think Cardiff Met perhaps just didn't have quite enough patience keeping it in tight, but no, it was much better from Cardiff Met, and that momentum really shifted for them for a minute, and I think that's what they're talking about right now in that huddle.
Is it a question tonight that they'll be having nightmares over that, what we just seen in the corner there?
Yeah, well, there's 8 minutes left to play, so still plenty of time for them to put themselves back down there, but they've got to keep doing those kind of things. They've got to play their rugby in the right position. But yeah, plenty of rugby still to play. A big 8 minutes up for both teams.
Yeah, look, and we're seeing some boys down getting some treatment, so some fresh legs coming on with full front row now for Cardiff Met being replaced. But let's just take a look at this knock-on. Unfortunate for Cardiff Met, trying to keep it tight, go through the phases, but it is knocked on in the end. And a great exit, to be fair, from Ellis Hogan.
Yeah, that's everything you want from a clearing kick. Really, really relieve the pressure and also put Cardiff Met under pressure.
Yeah, really important scrum here for Max Surrey and Connell Couch, the new impact players for Cardiff Met. And it's strong from both sides. Hogan spots some room, but it's gone out.
Yeah,
a clever kick.
Yeah, nice kick. Just putting Met under some more pressure as well. And if you can keep pushing them back and winning that territory is really important. So yeah, it puts Cardiff Met under pressure now. A pressure of a line out just outside their own 5 metre line.
Yeah, and we can see the wind just hasn't stopped. It's still blowing down to the right. So this is going to be a really tricky line out here for Connor Chapman. But he nails it, but unfortunately Barnaby Waddle just doesn't catch the ball, so it's a knock on. And Bath now with the scrum on the 5 metre line with just over 5 minutes left to go.
Yeah, I think that's a big turning point in the game perhaps. I think Bath should really be able to capitalise on that mistake and possibly cross over and put this game to bed. But at the moment, only 4 points in it, so it's still in the balance. But this next passage of play is going to be extremely important for the outcome of this one.
Yeah, and if you're a Bath coach here now, what are you saying to your players?
Yeah, I think carry on what you're doing, really. I think both teams are trying to do the right thing, but Bath are doing it better at the moment. They're making sure that they're pinning Cardiff Met back and playing where they want to play rugby. So yeah, I think that would be the message from both teams, really.
Yeah, and I think for Cardiff Met now, Ian Gardner, what's he going to be saying? Is he going to bring any more subs on, do you think, after bringing on a new front row?
Yeah, it's hard what to say, really, because I think Cardiff Met were starting to build a little bit of momentum, but I think I think they've kind of lost a little bit now with that mistake. But you got people like Sam Berry on the bench and Toby Baldwin as well. A chance to really come on and make a difference. We'll see now what happens after this scrum, because this is a really, really important part of this game.
Yeah, a crucial moment for both sides in this match. And an early shove there from Bath, which results in a penalty to Cardiff Met.
Yeah, after I said that, Toby Baldwin has come onto the field here, so a chance for him to be a vital part of that momentum. As Cardiff Met don't quite get the right yards they want to make.
Yeah, and with the thing with bringing a player like Toby Baldwin on, you know, try scorer on the weekend, he can bring something different.
Yeah, he can, yeah, and I think that's going to be important now. You've got to go hell for leather for it now. 3 minutes or 4 minutes to go, so yeah, it's going to be a massive 4 minutes of the season, really, and only 4 points in it.
And it's a strong line-out again from Max Pearl, who sits now at the back of them all with the ball in hand. And is Connell Couch coming around the side there?
Yeah, discipline's going to be really, really important for Met here. No silly penalties away.
Bath, look at the play now through Will Rue, who had that try in the first half. Hogan, now Coyle with the carry, who's done very well since coming on. And then we see Weston stepping in at scrum half. Dingley doing really well, and they get the penalty, Bath. A massive moment in this game as they get a penalty on the 22 where they may look to take the 3 points.
Yeah, this would really put it into, well, put Cardiff Met under the caution, turn it into a converted try game. And yeah, we spoke about it, playing rugby in the right areas, discipline, and patience, and Bath showed a little bit of patience there, and in the end they drew Cardiff Met in to make the mistake and give away a penalty, and they could realistically put this game to bed here. It'd be a tough ask for Cardiff Met now to go up the other end and convert the try, but we've seen weirder things happen, haven't we, Spence?
Yeah, of course we have. But this is, and it feels, and it seems like a monumental timing in this game as Weston looks to take the 3 points. And he misses. It's gone wide. That might be a massive impact in this game. So now then, can Cardiff Met, in the space of just under a minute, bring themselves anything to give them a shot at winning this game?
Cardiff Met now got to get their hands on that ball now and try and play their rugby in the Bath half. Hogan trying to keep his pack alive and making those hard yards for Bath for the minute.
Yeah, and Bath doing everything right here, it seems, as they look for their outside half, who's controlled the game so well all night. Weston puts boot the ball, but a great take from Benji Williams, and he calls the mark. Not every day you see a number 8 calling the mark.
And fair play to him. That ball travelled a fair distance up in the air. I wouldn't have liked to catch that, but no. Settled down here, but now Met have got to try and get their hands back on the ball.
Yeah, and a very interesting time here for Cardiff Met as he takes a tap and go and barges through the Bath defence. Connell Couch.
Met to be looking to draw a mistake, make Bath give a penalty away here.
Yeah, but instead Morgan goes for the boot. Maybe a knock on off the back of this as they let ball drop. And Emin Solidsen's coming on and remains in that form. Oh, what a great hit there on the counter-attack, which allows Connor Chapman to get the ball. But a great turnover, it looks like, from the Bath, number 20, Owen Coyle. But no, the ball is put to boot, and Steph Davis is chasing. And Steph Davis is chasing this ball.
I think he's on that ball.
And he's on it. And it's on out wide, it looks.
Oh, but the ball's
Bath have stolen it. Everything is going on here in the last minute of this fixture at Cyncoed. Bath again trying to get themselves out of danger as it looks so promising for Cardiff Met. Bath with great energy and getting back.
Yeah, the clock ticks down here now, and I think there's perhaps less than a minute left, but not the best of clearances for Bath. And Cardiff Met perhaps will have one more chance to put themselves right in this contest again.
Yeah, indeed. Cardiff Met, one last chance now at this game as the clock is in the red. So, can Cardiff Met do it? Can they come together as one in this night at Cardiff Met?
Are you asking me that question, Spence? Because I don't know, I don't have a crystal ball, but I'm really hoping, and I think Cardiff Met do have the momentum here late on in the game and winning that line out.
Retain the line out. It's all about keeping it tight now, looking after that ball, because this is definitely the last chance that Cardiff Met are going to have.
Patience will be really, really key. No mistakes for Cardiff Met. Possibly less than 30 seconds, I'd say, left in this game.
Yeah, they can't force anything here. And we see Morgan with the pass to Sheldon, who's been so strong all night. Morgan to Benji Williams, who started all this off in the first place by calling the mark. Surrey with the carry, makes good yards, but Coyle goes for the turnover.
He was isolated there for a moment, but Cardiff Met get away with it.
Morgan, Williams. Morgan to Sheldon. Coyle there again, sniffing for that ball. Met keeping hold of the ball so far. And it's a carry from Barnaby Wardle there. Sheldon again, going for the pick and go without anyone with him, and Coyle's looking for the ball.
Referee had a good look at that.
They regain possession again, Cardiff Met, and again they look for the ball through captain Tom Cohen. But Cardiff Met go through Connell Couch. This is breathtaking stuff in the final stages of this game.
Yeah, Met doing everything right at the moment, just staying patient, keeping it tight.
Yeah.
But Bath fronting
Brandon
up.
Harvey goes. No scrum cap now. A great clear out there from Barnaby Wardle. Surrey again. Great impact since coming off the bench. And the ball.
It's gone back, says the referee.
Advantage Cardiff Met now. This is huge. And Cardiff Met continue to apply that pressure.
Yeah, Bath currently down to 14 men with an injury in the centre of the pitch, so this is a chance for Cardiff Met, yeah.
And we see Sheldon on the floor there. He is shattered. He's passing that ball and lying on the floor just to regain his breath. And it's out wide now to Williams. As they still have that advantage, Cardiff Met, to play with. 10 metres out now. And the ref blows up. And they will go back for the penalty.
Yeah, it seems to be a nasty old injury in the middle of the pitch as well. I hope he's alright, but wow, what a finish to this game. I think Cardiff Met have finally found their rhythm late on in this game. They're doing everything right. They had a decision to make there. Do they stay patient and keep the ball tight? They did, instead of going wide. I think it was the right decision, but in the end, Bath are really, really good at fronting up over the ball.
Yeah, look, this is exactly what we wanted for our first game back of 2024. It's a valiant effort in these dying stages from Cardiff Met, and this is exactly what the fans wanted, what we wanted, and what the viewers at home wanted. So, as we take a look at this replay, Rory Morgan puts that kick through, which created pressure, and Steph Davis almost onto the ball, and then he regains possession, and then Bath go with the ball. But that's what led to the pressure that we are seeing now off the back of that line now, just outside the 22. So the question is, can Met put it all together and get over that try line?
Yeah, well, a decision to make here. I think it was a penalty advantage for Cardiff Met, so I think they're keeping it tight, tap and go, and then tell those those in the pack to really front up and go for it and run hard now. Empty the tank now. There's no time left on the clock. You've got to go for it, and it's truly there for Cardiff Met's taking. Yeah, and I think that's what's happening. Rory Morgan just telling his forwards, it's your time now.
Yeah, and it looks like they're going to go for the scrum. A massive call here from Cardiff Met. So they trust their front row, they trust their back row, and they trust their pack. So Rory Morgan has one job: put the ball in, and then Benji Williams maybe for the pick and go.
Yeah, I think Benji Williams will look to go wide and maybe use one of his centres as support, and then it'll all be about quick ball around the corner for Cardiff Met. But the referee says nothing quick about this. Let's slow it down a little bit.
Yeah, huge moment in the game, and the referee needs to make sure that this is right. Aaron James telling us earlier how he was aware of the little tricks that Cardiff Met could play off the back of set pieces, lineouts and scrums. So this is going to be a massive test to their training here at Bath to see if they can defend what Cardiff Met will throw at them.
Yeah, and I think I'll keep an eye on Chris Johnson here. I'm assuming he'll be in there as a bit of support for Benji Williams if he takes that ball.
Yeah, and it's a good scrum from Cardiff Met, and they got the advantage again! And it's Benji Williams, but they got another advantage here.
Well, we spoke so much about momentum in this game, Spence, and I think Cardiff Met, right to the end, have found a good bit of momentum. Benji Williams holding his arm there, but he's made some hard yards there and almost secured the ball for Met. And another scrum, says Cardiff Met. Thank you very much.
Yeah, and hopefully he's okay there, Benji Williams. It's crazy to think that this morning he was having a fitness test to see if he was going to be fit for tonight, and he's put in this shift.
Yeah, and I think Benji is going off here, which is a shame for him. But he's really emptied the tank today. He's been a key figure of everything that Cardiff Met have done well.
Yeah, we wish Benji all the best, as we see there. People in the crowd thinking the same. And again, we go now to the scrum.
Yeah, a big nudge here. The final play of the game. Cardiff Met need to empty the tank and give it everything. And I wouldn't be surprised if they win another penalty here. The ref will think about the pocket.
Yeah, so it's Sheldon at 8 now instead of Benji Williams. And it's another advantage for Cardiff Met off the back of the scrum. Sheldon picks and goes, and he looks for the line.
Met the goal numbers wide as well.
And it's on wide, and Rory Morgan sees it, and is intercepted by Bath.
There's a penalty.
Oh, and it's all going on at Cyncoed Rugby One. I'd forgotten about the advantage myself there, and I thought the Bath were in for a try. But fortunately for the Ultras, Cardiff Met have another bash at this.
I'm surprised the referee's not having a word, because that's 2 penalties in the red zone there late on in this game. But Cardiff Met, will they take another scrum? I assume so, because they've been dominant in the last 2.
Yeah, and as we come to this little stoppage, taking scrums at this period of time is such a big risk. You know, as we now look at this replay, the scrum dominance in the last 10 minutes has been so good from Cardiff Met, and that's what I said earlier on. It was going to be. Oh, it was so close there. If that was no advantage, he was in.
Yeah, that's brilliantly read from Bath. I think that, you know, their defence has fronted up very well when Cardiff Met have entered the red zone. But now another scrum, and Cardiff Met need to front up this time and really drive on. They're slowly edging forward with these scrums, and the biggest chance of them all now to win it right to the death.
Yeah, huge opportunity once more for Cardiff Met in the final stages of this game. 12-8 is the score. We are in the red zone. Can Cardiff Met get over the line as they go with the exact same scrum as previous, and Sheldon just about gathers the ball.
Patience here needed from Met. Keep it tight.
Surrey with another strong carry. And Met now keeping it tight. Bath defending so well on their own line here. And we hear the UWIC chants. And it looks like it's all getting a little bit messy in there. But the ball is out. And we just... And another advantage for Cardiff Met. It's all... And is he over here? Connell Couch with a great carry. And it looks like it is held up there from Bath.
Oh, the referee's not sure.
Just held up there on the line. Again, a valiant effort from the boys in Burgundy.
Yeah, the referee just looking for someone. Is he having a word, or is it perhaps further punishment for Bath? That's 3 penalties now in the red zone. So definitely a word needed, I'd say.
It just feels like if they're going to get over this line, they may need to go wide. And the ref being talked to by Ewan Guy there, potentially about the card. When we take another look at what went on.
Yeah, Met doing everything right there. Everything we've said that they need to do in this game. Play in the right area. A quick tap and go here from Met.
Cardiff Met again now, trying to get over that line. Strong defence again from Bath. And it's Sheldon who takes it again. Once more. And the ball is there. Cardiff Met now. Again, keeping it tight. Staying in their pods. Brandon Harvey wants to go at this. The American powerhouse. And he sees the white line. Then is he over? No, he's just not. He's just shy. Now, Captain Ewan Guy sees the ball. Captain Ewan Guy sees the white line. It's a try! It's a try for Captain Ewan Guy. Captain fantastic. The line has never been better. You're at Cyncoed. Ewan Guy has got the try in the final stages of the game. The Ultras are going mental. We're going mental. This is the first Cardiff Met Sport TV broadcast of 2024. Come on, the Ultras.
Well, I can only describe what I can see opposite me as pure limbs. It needs to be on some sort of Twitter account by tonight, I'm telling you. But no, Cardiff Met finally, for the first time in the second half, doing what they did so well in the first half. Playing in the right positions and keeping it tight, making the right decisions as well. And in the end, Cardiff Met will be taking the spoils home tonight, it looks like.
And just look what it means to them fans. Ross McKay there walking along with a tea in hand. He has done his job tonight, and now to finish it off with an extra couple of points. But Ewan Guy stepping up when needed. That is what makes him captain material.
Yeah, and Cardiff Met looking for the extra points, but I think those Ultras over there will be having a couple of extra pints tonight, I'm telling you, after that finish to the game. But no, Cardiff Met, they've been in this game throughout the game. They started quite slowly in the first, and it hasn't been a classic of a second half, but importantly, they've stayed in this game.
And let's just wait for McKay to kick this. Whether it goes over or not, there is going to be a huge roar on Rugby One, and it goes over, and the final score here at Rugby One is Cardiff Met 15, Bath 12. And that roar is exactly what was expected. A huge victory for Cardiff Met. They won last week against Durham for the first time in 7 years. They won on Saturday to go second in the championship, 33-31 against Baylor. And they continue their winning form tonight at home at Cyncoed, 15-12 against Bath. They got their revenge.
They have. And I think they'll be very happy as well after that game they showed against Bathai on the weekend. They've shown that they've got the dog in them. They can grind out results when needed. And it doesn't always have to be a classic for them. But in the end, they can win and celebrate with these nutters beer. Some of them have had their tops off through the game.
Yeah, that's the scenes that we all want to see at Cardiff Met. Unfortunately, it is broadcast live for everyone to see what is going on here at Cyncoed. It's amazing scenes, and these are memories that are going to last for a lifetime, not only for the players on the pitch, for the fans in the stands, but also for us up here in the gantry who get to witness these amazing nights.
Yeah, this league is just great. You know, every single week you come here and it's competitive as well, wherever you go across the country. And you know, people in New Zealand tonight have seen this result, we know that for a fact. It's been seen everywhere. I know, but the people here at Rugby One as well have enjoyed it. I've enjoyed the game. It was a great game under really, really terrible conditions, if truth be told. But no, another really enjoyable occasion here at Cyncoed.
Yeah, and of course we have been loving it tonight. It's been one of those games where everything happens for a reason. But we have been Steph and Spencer, and now I'm going to throw over to Reese.
Well, Spence, that was an unbelievable end to an unbelievably wet game. Have you calmed down yet?
Do you know what? I don't think I have just yet. I'll take my glasses off and then maybe I will. But that was an amazing game to watch, Reese, wasn't it? An amazing game to be a part of. And we've got Danny Milton here now, who's going to take my spot, because I am sure he is also very, very pleased. Very wet, but very pleased indeed. Danny?
Hiya, how are you?
Well, so Danny Milton just getting his headset on now. Danny, it's my character again, isn't it? The boys coming back at the end again.
A repeat of last week. No, look, it was a tough game. I got to look at the camera. Fantastic effort from the guys. We knew at half time it was going to be tough. Probably hadn't taken advantage of some opportunities and perhaps lacked a bit of accuracy in that first half. But the second half then,
I can't really say too much apart from the fact that we stuck it out and got there in the end, and really proud of the guys. Last week against Durham away from home, this week against Bath, two of the top teams in the league. Bath are a very good side, so are Durham. We're really pleased with that.
And at half time, what was said, because obviously you had a 3-point lead, but I think we always felt that was going to be a bit short, obviously, with the wind against you. So what was the messages at half time?
Probably three messages were around the sort of defence and the fact that we felt if we got off the line it was hard to attack in these conditions. Felt we could cause teams to make mistakes and perhaps take advantage of that. Second was around the contact area, looking after the ball, probably tightening up on our carries. And then thirdly was our kicking game and how we were going to try and approach kicking into that wind. And fair play, they stuck to the task, and to get over the line there at the end, we're over the moon.
As we see the Cardiff Met rugby players celebrate in the background. Obviously, we've spoken about character over the last week in Durham. Against Bader for the Saturday side. How much is it now about continuing that momentum and continuing the good feeling at this club?
Yeah, it's great, isn't it? It's tough because you've got guys there on the bench who we haven't put on tonight because they're starting Friday. And trying to back up both Wednesdays and Saturdays at the moment is tough, but fair play to the boys, both our Wednesday and Saturday group. They're putting performances in week after week that we can be really proud of, and they're putting that detail and focus and paying attention to those performance behaviours we want. And while we're not accurate all the time, there's a lot of character, a lot to be proud of.
And I know you don't necessarily like talking about individuals, but Roy Morgan out there tonight, obviously a scrum half, is so difficult in those positions, but he controlled the game, I thought, so well from the line.
As a third year, he's really stepped up this year, and the kicking game is a big part of what we're looking for, and Rory brings a lot of focus, a lot of tension, a lot of detail around what we're trying to do in that area. So yeah, very pleased.
And you and Guy as well, that's two winning tries in 2 weeks for him now. He's really stepping up, coming back off the bench as well.
Yeah, we've got a group of performance squad leaders, and Eugene's come in there and done a fantastic job, and the crowd have brought loads of energy all night long, and I've got no doubt a big part of tonight is down to them as well, and I'm sure Eugene will walk away with the try scoring triangle.
And he gets coming to the game cold at the end as well. How important was it that to show his fitness as well?
Yeah, what Di Watts does with this group and the rest of the strength and conditioning team. We've got that new performance S&C gym coming as well now, which is going to be a real great addition to the facilities here, and he'll just go on to keep improving these guys and the physicality that they bring week after week.
Well, Danny, I'll let you enjoy the rest of your night. Congratulations on the victory. And I'll let you enjoy the rest of your time.
Thanks very much.
Thank you very much, Danny.
Have a great night. Thanks, guys.
Cheers, Danny. So now we've got Spencer O'Connell back in. I still don't think you've calmed down, Spence. That was just an incredible end to a game that I don't think we thought the Met would win. Looking with 10 minutes to go, they had to show a lot of character in that second half.
Yeah, look, I'll be honest, I'm no health expert, but I think the heart rate's probably dropped from about 170 to about 120, so it's still pretty high, but not where it was 5 minutes ago, Reece. Listen, an amazing game to watch, to be a part of, and then words from Danny there, just how much it means to the club and how hard that they're trying at the minute as well, I think is a testament to Cardiff Met, with the championship on the weekends and with obviously the BUCS as well. So they're in a really good place at the moment, Cardiff Met. I think if we look back to maybe 3 months ago, October time, people were questioning their credibility, and I think those questions are being answered now, not only in the week but also on the Saturdays.
And now let's have a look at that winning try, Ewan Guy with the big moment. So here it is. Here he is. He gets up off the floor. Must be absolutely shattered, but he shows great character. And Spence, just talk through it.
Yeah, it's literally pure composure there from the Cardiff Met captain. He sees the ball. He knows that he's got to go nice and low and get over that try line. And he does that very well. It's great patience. Steph was saying it on co-coms, patience, and they all put it into practice right there.
Yeah, and we've also got your reaction, Spence. We've got a little bird's eye, big brother kind of cam in the corner, and I think this is caught. So, look, Steph Leonard. He's living every moment. I think Steph is over the ruck there, actually. Unbelievable reaction.
Yeah, I mean, look, it's pure emotion, isn't it? You can't hide emotion, and those scenes, they'll live with me forever, because these moments you're never going to forget. And neither are any of these fans out here, neither are any of these coaches and players. So yeah, listen, what a night for Cardiff Met, and if that's on Twitter later, don't tag me.
Well, what a night for Cardiff Met. The Six Nations starts this weekend, and we'll leave you with some reaction for some Cardiffians.
In a word, who's going to be the standout player?
Oh, under pressure.
I wish Jack Morgan was playing.
Jalibert for France.
Harvey Jenkins is going to have a good end.
Kieran Hardy.
I'm hoping Costello at 10. We need a 10. I think with Bigger retiring, we're looking for a decent 10.
Shane Williams.
Six Nations, who's going to win?
France. I am going to go Ireland.
I think we're in with a chance. We're with a chance. Why not? Why not?
Wales, no doubt.
I would say Scotland.
I've lost a lot of money on saying this, mind. Scotland will win, I think. Stupid Dave says Wales. Thoughtful Dave says Ireland.